teams. Obviously, they did have the jungle swap, right? And I know he's kind of taken...
Which one? The first or the second?
Or
the third?
The second. The third. Are you predicting something? I think, and Knight has talked about Beichuan, right, and said how like there's still things he needs to learn, but he thinks he's a good player. Kind of, Beichuan was brought in to help facilitate these solo lanes. So thus far has looked a little bit desynced in domestic play here. So we'll see if BLG can step it up today.
Yeah, I had a chance to catch up with him actually after his former previous series. So we're gonna check this Knight interview in the Verizon Game Day interview. Let's send it over. Knight, thank you so much for joining me ahead of the next series. It's going to be BLG versus AL, a rematch of the LPL finals. Now, talking to Bin, he was talking about his frustration so far about what you guys have been doing at the tournament. Is there anything that you will have to be careful about against AL?
我觉得打 AL 的话，我们资源团的还有前期的联动吧，就一定要打得更好吧。就如果继续这样打的话，肯定很有可能会输掉比赛的。
How do you reflect on what has been difficult for BLG so far? Because you've been to so many internationals, making it to finals so often.
Dude, this is gonna be pretty intense.
今年我也是进下人员更换嘛，然后磨合时间也没特别久吧，而且也是北传第一次打世界赛，就我们的磨合时间肯定是没之前多的。而且第一次打世界赛，就我们可能其他人就每个人的配合都没那么好吧，所以就可能就打得没之前有统治力。
And focusing on the next matchup against Shanks, specifically in the mid lane, from the LPL finals that you played against each other into the player that he became here at MSI, how do you reflect on his improvements?
我觉得现在像阿斯可能和 LPL 相比的话，他非常自信吧，就因为也是赢下了很多比赛，就感觉他打得越来越自信了吧，就个人实力还是非常强的。
Looking forward to seeing you against each other. 谢谢, thank you so much. And it's really that confidence that we've seen from Shanks here. But is that gonna be enough for a roster?
Oh, I haven't uploaded any of my VODs.
Yeah, as we
look
see,
at him.
So Bin has a lot of history with MSI. He's made every single MSI final thus far that he has qualified with, right? And I think
I'll do that for this.
joining this BLG team was kind of mid his LPL title run, right? And he was the big difference maker that turned what had been kind of an underdog powerhouse into the powerhouse that was a tournament favorite at last year's Worlds.
And it's important to remember that coming into 2023, BLG was considered the worst.
Yo, Jari, what's up? How you doing?
Teams. Coming in, right? The expectations for Gen G and T1 were way
You ready for more
higher.
MSI?
BLG ended up being as favored, also the tournament winner. But we shouldn't forget.
Dude, after finals on Sunday, we have Asia Masters. That's gonna be wild.
This roster is gone, but we shouldn't forget these players are still able to turn it on.
I mean, it can always be an upset, especially when it comes to an LPL versus LPL matchup and the time they had to prep. But I want to check what the fans think here at Mastercard.gg.
Rona has been Discord.
The match for AL, though, with 76.3%.
Oh, no. I don't even know what that is, dude.
Of course, for now, the fans track record is 64% correct. You can vote.
Like, my voice is like
70%,
80% healed.
I love the fan signs that we've seen here so far at MSI.
Good.
They've been so good. What do you think about this game, though? What are we calling here?
I think it's going to look, I'm with the fans, I think it's going to look a lot like the LPL final, a lot like that Telestrator I did earlier, right, where AL's map movements should be better. As a team, they just look so much more well-coordinated. So I'm expecting it to be similar. I am going AL 3-1.
Same. What is
Well,
I wish, dude.
Turning around yet, because to me,
all right,
I have been part to so many of these LPL matchups. I was there when Weibo, out of seemingly nowhere, turned into a crazy team at the World's 2023 semis, right? And I think, given what we've seen, the expectations are too obvious. This feels like we are walking right into a trap, okay? I've seen this exact thing happen so many times.
I think AL's is overall better, dude.
I'm getting booed, because I do think that given the tenacity that BLG have shown, as long as they can slightly sync up with Beichuan, that is their one weak point. Obviously, he's been having a bad performance, but if he pulls it together, I think this roster is going to look completely different. And Bin, I don't think he's missing this MSI finals.
I mean, this MSI has been all about Game 5s here. So can they make it happen today? Once again, only one LPL team can advance to face off against T1 tomorrow. It is time to send it to the final best of 5 between these two teams. It's gonna be BLG versus Anyone's Legends.
How's their proto build? Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. Oh, I didn't run the ads. Yo, I got Twitch Turbo too, man. It's actually really good. Oh, that sounds nasty. Bacon flavor? What the fuck? Okay.
And here we go into the final four of MSI, the LPL Finals rematch between Anyone's Legend and BLG. I'm Medic, I'm honored to be joined by Azael and ready to kick this one off.
I'm excited to witness this rematch. AL have gotten the better of BLG throughout spring, and I wonder what they've got prepared today. We got some words of wisdom from Knight. They have to control their aggression in the early game. They need time with their setups, and I wonder what approach they're gonna have in the draft and what their plan will be, because things like TF, how high on
Yeah,
the
well, I have to do something. You have turbo.
things like the
True.
Pantheon, the Varus, some of the
Actually
often
true.
banned from both these sides, and the Pantheon ban on the side of BLG expected, the Gwen ban coming through from AL. A little bit of a surprise, but clearly targeting Bin on the top side.
Yeah, absolutely. Has been really high priority. To me, champions like Taliyah as well have really been shining. I think Taliyah, Ryze, very high prio. Both these champions are these kind of global, semi-global style champions, allow you to attack side lanes, but they are also ones that work really well in the 5v5s, which I think is keeping them at the top of people's priority list.
And alongside that, a support that works really well in the 5v5s is Nico. Both these players incredibly experienced on the champ. An 80% win rate on one side of the rift, a 92% win rate on the other side of the rift.
I don't know, dude.
Wouldn't be
I think the
surprised if we
biggest
see that
black hole is
further.
base one.
Rumble banned away. BLG have to make some difficult choices now because a lot of mid-priority picks are available. The Taliyah that you were just talking about, Azael, naturally rises in priority. Remember, things like the Azir, something we don't often see from Knight.
Yeah,
Also,
he's cheering
has
for
to be a
Knight.
big point of
I mean, Knight
priority
might
potentially
win a
for
game,
AL,
but
maybe
I don't know,
the
dude. I think it's kind of
Taliyah
doomed.
also really important in the
I
draft.
feel like it has to be first pick Taliyah. If that's up, it's almost a guarantee. So now we have to find the response. Is it going to be Ryze? Is it going to be Azir? You know, those seem kind of like the answers that I would be looking towards. Grab one of those higher priority junglers to pair alongside it, and then go from there.
I think Ryze is a really good denial pick as well. Shanks has a 91% win rate on it this year. Instead, it is going to be the
Joey
Azir
better than Knight.
alongside
True,
Trundle,
true.
which does push Sion further down in priority.
Exactly. I really like Trundle here because it is a good pairing. It is that AD jungler, but also it is denying some of these blind picks by nature of how effective it is. Like you say, the Sion, the Orin, some of the best blind picks available right now are going to be taken away. Things like Rumble and Gwen, also pretty solid blind picks. Those are gone. I am so not a fan of the Yorick blind. I do think it is very easy to punish, but it has been very popular in the LPL, so we'll see if they are going to lock it in.
The thing that surprises me is that BLG foregoing something like an Annie Wukong, which would very much stay true to their style, and instead
I mean, they're picking Yorick.
prioritizing the Azir for Knight. I'm excited to see.
I don't know
how
what they're gonna
he
pick for
performs the
jungle,
champion
though.
alongside
I
base
don't know
one
what would be
jungle
good with Taliyah here.
Yorick locked in for Flandre, world class, one of the best Yorick
Especially
players in
because
the
they're going
world.
against
But the big
Trundle.
blind, as you've already
It feels
highlighted,
really
all the
hard.
risks associated with that.
And on the other side of the rift, you have Bin, who has always been willing to pick good counters. Looking back to when he was in his rookie year,
He
on
just
Suda,
did it.
things like the
Oh,
Fiora,
no,
Irelia would
Jin.
come out when he had good counter picks. Irelia here would really slap for Bin.
I mean, it would be really crazy if he went for it. I also think there are some very good answers, like just going towards the Sion. Like
Jin,
just going
Jin,
towards
Jin.
the Cho'Gath. I think these are great answers to the Yorick. You can go towards something like the Aatrox, but I don't think it's nearly as strong of an answer. Bin, obviously, on the Jax is ultimate comfort. Hasn't been playing it a ton this year, but I don't think we're going to get it. I think we are just kind of waiting for that later pick. Nico, you had already touched
Dude, Nico
on,
got
is
nerfed,
so
but she's
high
still, like,
priority, not
high
only because
prio.
it has the explosive engage, but because it has an incredibly
Crazy.
dominant lane phase. You can play play for the 2v2. We of course do see
Also,
that
Knight
it is
is here.
locked in for hope here, but you can
Aware.
get a strong long-range AD
Aware.
pairing
Aware.
with Elk, play
Here.
that poke style in the 2v2, and almost always we see the Nico coming out with early prio.
I mean, I will say, these were not what I was expecting in terms of the priorities for the first picks. The fact that we've just foregone the top lane response from BLG, the not looking in the jungle on the side of AL, things like Xin Zhao and Wukong both still available, neither of them going to be banned away. Instead, the support pool is going to be targeted. Rel and Nautilus removed from the pool alongside the Karma increases the value of this Nico, and now Kyle really going to be tested in what else he has in store to try and match up into the Nico.
If you are looking at a
What about Ali electrocute? Dude, I don't want to get fired, man.
The league in a lot of people's estimations. I think his MSI has been a little bit more downplayed than he could have been, but the expectation is here in a series that is basically home turf, he should be able to really shine.
Absolutely, and he doesn't have
Dude,
all that experience on the internet.
I get all the morons.
But it is, we're waiting for Kyle.
Because I'm a moron.
Those picks here for AL, and they were kind of the shining stars here, I think, on AL.
Corky.
Jungle support duo have been absolutely stellar for them. Considering the Corky here, I do think it is a really strong 2v2 if they want to go that way, and I like it quite a lot as an answer here. It's going to be very difficult, I think, for Kyle to grab a support that is going to really give them the advantage, so they may just have to kind of seed the 2v2, play the map, and look elsewhere, because clearly you already have a strong tendency to go towards that York. You want to play
I'm rooting for AL, because if AL wins, I can pretend CFO's better.
Their picks are probably going to be lending towards that. Bard would make a lot of sense if that's the style that you want to play here. You can really get it on the map, work well with whatever jungle.
Basically, I want it to be Genji AL, then I can say CFO's number 3 if AL gets second place.
Going to round things out. They could do with a little bit more engage. I mean, yeah, they could just go for the Xin. I mean, Beishwan locking in the Trundle. He was very much expecting this to be the matchup, but Talia Xin is just such an incredibly potent mid-jungle combo. I mean, again, they have a decent amount of poke on the side of AL with both Jin and the Talia at your disposal. It means you can just chip away at the HP. Wanting to go for a little bit more team fight power and engage, the Wukong can pen nicely. Should you have of the Camille? I wonder if that's the direction they're going to go. You did Wukong that can be used by Bin.
Camille, I think, is a good matchup into Yorick. I do think you can play things like Fiora as well. Aurelia is incredible. If you want to go tank, you can look towards Cho'Gath because Sion is banned away. Jax, I think, is fine, but you can be poked down a lot easier than some of these other matchups. Yorick, yes, of course, you do still have some auto attack coming through.
I was hoping it would be Cho'Gath.
Going towards the Trident.
That would be hype.
He is insanely comfortable on this pick. You absolutely can outscale the Yorick, but I do worry about the early stages. Vondra very comfortable on this Yorick, and I do think it can be a pretty good early matchup there for the Yorick, just constantly poking and prodding away with his Jax. And if he gets put behind, Jax's really can struggle.
It was only last year that we
isolated that he doesn't leave the room.
This was a champion you couldn't
give
35. So coming into this tournament, the fact that this is going to be his first game in MSI, you already mentioned it, Azale. He's been moving away from this Jax pick. But when we think about Bin, we think about his recent history. Camille and Jax were the two champions that many around
AL's draft kind of looks like ass, I'm not going to lie.
Because of how talented he was on the pick.
And that's why it has been a bit of a strange thing to watch him in the LPL this split, where it's spamming Rumble, it's spamming Yorick, and it's not really been what we have kind of expected to see from this guy. And to be frank, he hasn't been as dominant as we expect from him either in the LPL. So we'll see if we can get some shades of Gigabin from ages past in Game 1.
BLG have been a shadow of their former selves. They're not the team you expect to make back-to-back finals internationally. They're not the team you expect to push T1 to 5 games. But with the addition of Beishwan, with the changing of coaching staff in the middle of the split, things have started to go towards a more rosy direction. The question for BLG is,
go BLG, bro, Game 1.
AL for them throughout the entirety of playoffs.
I don't know what's going to happen, dude.
On the other side of the rift in their first international tournament, the first international tournament for Shanks, for Kyle. There was a lot of hope in this roster, but trepidation as well. The LPL fans not quite sure yet if AL is who they want to represent them on the biggest stage. Bin's going to path down to bot as he just looks. Oh, it's not Bin, it's on. On path down to bot, and that's a much more
down to bot too. Wow.
Wow, great. They're just all over the map in the early game, aren't they, Azale, as we jump into Game 1.
The nemesis of casters everywhere, Nico.
I
Dude.
will say, I didn't realize this before the game, but in the global power rankings, both these teams on exactly the same amount of points, sitting in 4th place. It's not often we actually see teams that are that tied on those power rankings. Obviously, all algorithm-based, so doesn't always account for every minutia of League of Legends.
Oh, they actually double warded there, so a little bit of an accident. AL not communicating who's actually going to drop the ward, and it is, of course, spotted by Beishwan.
Well, that's weird.
Going to be able to be a little bit annoying here.
Yo, Ursa, what's up? How you
To
doing?
walk the long way back towards top lane, but Bin is still just kind of zoning him off.
Through the playoffs as well, both these teams meeting up 2 times. BLG taking AL to 5 games on their first attempt. In the second attempt didn't go so well for them. We saw Tarzan cracking out the Z in game 4, managing to pick up the win. I think for BLG, they'll be hoping this isn't the start of a trend. 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. On the international stage, obviously, BLG have a little bit more pedigree.
Watching back those series and talking with some of the analysts from the LPL as well, my impression of the teams was that BLG was this hyper proactive team. They love to play through their side lanes, they love to tower dive you. They were always the first to start a
Dude, they're
fight
still
around these
poking
neutrals.
each other.
I felt like AL did
Just
such a
non-stop
fantastic job of
autoing.
reading them as they find a bit of an advantage already in the bot lane 2 versus 2. They just
That's zero support, dude. I get that. Like, it fucks with you for a split second.
Right now, junglers are on the opposite sides of the map, and this AL bottom lane will need to be
Like,
careful
look,
because
dude, you
Beishwan
think,
will
like,
be heading in this direction.
don't
but
tell
for
me,
now,
like, it takes you
they're
a second,
winning on the trade
or,
with this early level 2.
so you're like, oh yeah, it's easy to tell that's on.
Well. So aggressive. They used the
Like, I don't know why they
Kyle
changed
to
it.
get
Before they
boost
made it
speed
so
to
it's
hope
a
he
lot
actually get a
easier.
reinforced force shot, take a
Now
really
they made
good
it
trade.
harder.
You know, multiple times was able to get the big trade in.
Yeah,
on
Jari is
the
the kind of guy that would play as your
Both
support.
potions are gone from on as well.
So if you saw in a program, you're like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I do that shit too.
Make his presence known on the bot side already, but Hope and Kyle, they're showing that respect.
They saw him.
Oh.
Beishwan comes around the corner with the frozen domain, gets the slow onto Hope. Looking at the pillar as well. Barrier coming out from
Hope is dead.
It's just
First
Hope
blood.
We talked about it. The jungle was pathing towards the bot side of the map. They should have been more respectful of that possible early gank, but Beishwan draws first blood in the series.
Yeah, neither of them, even with the push there, actually got a ward into the river, not expecting an early gank here from the Trundle. And
Dude,
makes
I just like Sona, dude. I'm not a Sona main.
Well is really going to hurt.
If anything, I'm more of a Zyra
main.
main.
Elk did at least spend his flash to get that kill, so there might be an opportunity for Tarzan to try to even the score here a little bit later on.
Yeah, Hope holding onto that summon to make sure that he knew he was dead. There was no real reason flashing away, especially with the pillar down in front of him. We see Tarzan pathing down towards this bottom side. Has finished his full clear, so really wants to get a double scuttle. Kyle pushing forward, gets a bit of vision for him to allow that net of safety, making sure that he can seal away these 2 camps from Beishwan, who is still on his blue buff because of the earlier gank.
Yeah, Tarzan going to be able to get this double scuttle, no problem here. And you can see Bin having a good time up in that top lane, does have the HP advantage, still has the extra potion as well, so the early trade's definitely going in his favor. Mid lane just been kind of quietly, both of these mid laners farming away. Shanks, though, got the early tier and has had the push, so going to be comfortable with the position that he's in already.
For the moment, Flandre just getting pushed back a bit, but that mid lane matchup is one I want to highlight actually, because Shanks coming into his first international tournament after joining WE Academy all the way back in 2020, debuting with WE in 2021, has come out and quoted himself saying, it is a long
Shanks
road, you
is
have to
like
go
split
through
2? Oh,
failures
head to head,
if you want to
okay.
get towards the
It's only
victories.
split 2
Knight,
though.
on the other hand, has felt like he has only had victories throughout his career.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think as a result, it's almost more impressive to see, you know, Shanks from where he came to where he is now. So many players in League come in, and when they don't have immediate success, they're just replaced. They can't shine on a bad roster, and they just get overlooked. They're just kind of lumped in.
Dude, what are
with
you
the rest of the
talking
team. He was
about?
on a 0-16 WE roster. They then went 4-12, and for him to still be able to actually stand out on a roster that is
Dude, you guys have such shitty, like, champion
for him
recommendations.
to be able to claw and grind his way up to where, you know, he is now on the precipice of making the lower bracket finals, where he's already top 4 at MSI, where he's won an LPL championship, I think is nothing short of amazing.
And the fact that
I have a great mind for the game. I just don't have good mechanics. That's why I play support.
The LPL now, how dominant he has been for so long, I think is a real testament to the mid lane talent that we continue to see come out of the LPL in recent years.
And honestly, I think Shanks has been stellar at MSI, I felt that he actually outperformed Chovy in their best of 5. I feel like he is actually the best performing mid laner at the tournament thus far. So to me, he really has been standing out. And that's not always the case when someone finally gets their big break, when they finally make it to MSI. Sometimes players do struggle.
Is
under
this
those
Jax
bright lights.
good?
It's a different environment than you're used to, but Shanks has been able to become acclimated right away.
I guess he has more CS. Oh, he hasn't recalled yet.
No disrespect to Knight as well, because he's had a phenomenal tournament himself. He's been a large part of why BLG is even in this position, and so many games we've seen him have those standout miracle plays. Even in their loss to T1, his Ahri did so much work to make that game much closer than it should have been. So it's a matchup that we're super excited for. Knight on this is here that we don't typically see him on. One of the champions that people often say he can't play is this Azir. So eyes are on this mid lane matchup. Right now there is a 2-goal difference between the two mid laners. Shanks looking for a play.
Oh, Shanks.
Knight just a little bit.
I mean, it didn't do much, but it looked cool. Looked
We
cool.
see the lane swaps
Dude.
BLG moving their bot lane up towards the top side of the map.
Exactly, and we're not actually seeing Hope match right now. He is heading back out towards bot lane, so it is going to be these non-standard lanes here with Flandre just trying to stay in range of experience, trying to be around as much as he can.
Squire can dodge the
And
W.
what this often means is we'll see a Drake for Grubs exchange over the next couple of minutes. Grubs up in a minute's time. Dragon has been cleared out here by anyone's legend, and you can see a couple of pings coming down on it as well from BLG, expecting it to be started by their LPL counterparts.
No, there you go.
Forced down a little bit.
I mean, Flandre not able to actually get any of the CS. Look on the other side. The
Oh,
CS gap is
man.
actually opening up quite a lot now, as Bin was completely uncontested. He was actually laning 1v0 for quite a long time down there, and just now, Hope and Kyle got down, put a little bit of pressure on, but then they're already leaving the lane. So Bin is just having the time of his life, holding the wave by his tower, getting all of this gold, while his counterpart on the other side is not getting anything. And York has to be able to succeed in the side lane to really succeed in the game.
What's really interesting right now is AL, rather than just committing to a cross map and saying we'll just take the Drake, they've actually moved their bot lane to mid. They've gotten the push. They've sent Shanks towards the bot lane matchup. He won't have his TP available just yet, but it will be up soon. And it looks like AL is saying we want those grubs. And this is not uncharacteristic of what we saw in the finals, where there was a lot of fighting over those grubs in particular. AL really values them, and
Where's
they're gonna start this
Jin?
objective off.
Putting the maiden down as well just gives you a lot
Dude,
more
Jin,
play
I
on
feel-
these
I don't know,
grubs.
man.
Tarzan jumping
I mean, for
through
this
the
game,
space, trying
Jin
to
is
do the
not
Drake. So the exchange
as
has
bad.
occurred. It's just gone in the opposite direction to how we expected.
But I don't know, dude.
As
It
we
does
see
feel
AL
really
picking up the
shit.
grubs and BLG getting themselves on the board in terms of Dragons.
Like, unless you go against like
Absolutely
squishy
needed to
targets,
get
I feel like
grubs
Jin is so
after what
bad.
They gave up on the bot side.
If anyone
Bin
builds any
is
armor,
so
it's just
far
so
ahead.
weak.
26 CS up, 500 gold is the lead. Plus, there is a little bit of experience that Flandre has been able to obviously grab, so he's kept pretty close in that. But Bin really opening up a big advantage and hasn't been under any pressure for these last couple of minutes. Most of the time, he's actually still just been laning 1v0, and now finally they're going to move Hope in towards mid lane after the grubs. It is Shanks that's going to be answering the Jax, but he's not going to be able to put any pressure on there either.
It's a slower early game, but I don't think either side is particularly upset with how things are panning out. Bin is happily scaling, as Azel was just talking about on the side lane, building up a nice advantage. And
Damn,
also
Kale's
finds himself
everywhere.
isolated on the top side
What
of
the
map. So
fuck?
when I
Bard
watched back
OP.
the finals, I felt like AL did a really good job of controlling the aggression from BLG
Aw,
and kind of
Shanks.
shutting down a lot of the plays that they wanted to make. But BLG, they're taking this game one calm, collected, and their map movements are clean for the time being.
And AL has put a really high
Oh my
priority
god, they're gonna
on
have a
grubs throughout the tournament.
Triforce.
85% of
Holy
the
shit,
total
you're
grubs they
right.
have actually taken
I didn't even
throughout
think
this
about
event.
that.
So clearly putting an emphasis on that, and I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when you are playing with Yorick.
Yeah, with the Yorick, you want to be getting that pressure in the side lanes. You want to be trying to get plates early. Hasn't managed to do that in this game, mostly because he has had to deal with this 2v1 lane, and Bin has been very happily just farming up, as you say, 1v0 or 1v1. Now we see Bin pathing out towards top. Shanks will get the push down in the bottom lane, so it looks like Knight is going to be the one who catches that wave. Not too much experience or gold.
Yeah,
loss on
Wukong
that.
should.
And I think Bin is just going to be so
And
happy with
maybe
how
Yorick.
these early stages have gone for this matchup, because to me, post-6, when you get the maiden, you really can start playing pretty aggressively in this.
Yeah, that's actually kinda
Yorick
crazy.
can start poking down
Oh,
this
if
Jax.
Jin was Ezreal, we
Not
could have
deal
had
with it
6.
whatsoever. And he's nearly at the Triforce, and Beishuan is up here.
Dark Possession down. Flandre needs to walk away because Bin's splashing in with the Grandmaster's
Oh.
Knight Subjugator as well. Flandre holding
Yes,
on
Flash,
to his
but-
till the last moment, doesn't get a
I'm not gonna
chance
even
to use
bother.
it. BLG 2-0 up.
I think Flandre realized the moment he
BLG.
flashes, that pillar is coming down and he's not getting away anyway, so he just tries to walk it out. Nice gank once again from Beishuan as Kyle Looks for a bit of a play in mid, but some beautiful footwork comes through from Elk, and BLG find themselves 2 kills up.
I mean, this kill is actually so much more painful because when you die as the Orc like that, now you don't have the maiden for such a long time. So any pressure that you would have had is completely gone. The kill goes to Bin. He free farmed bot lane for so long, and they're nearly going to be able to get a plate. So as soon as he comes back, he'll be able to grab that. He's going to be very close to his Triforce now at this point, and there it is. Already done the Triforce. So Flandre I already feel like is completely out of the side lane because by the time
Shax is so bad.
Bin is going to be so far ahead.
Still 2/3 of the cooldown remaining on that maiden as well. It's going to be so hard for Flandre to lane in this top lane. Wave pushing out against him makes it even trickier because his jungler is not on this side of the map right now. Tarzan trying to gain control around this bot side river. Dragon's still 2 minutes away though, so expect to see just lanes crashing back and forth for the next couple of minutes.
Tarzan has spent the majority of this game just focusing on farming. He's been doing a good job getting close to his Trinity Force as well.
Dude, I don't know, man.
They've been investing a lot of vision towards this bot side.
I look fabulous. What the fuck?
Plenty, pretty much throughout this bot side, pretty much to put more pressure on tonight.
Hey guys, let's not lie, okay?
Keeping that bot wave pushed in and moving into this fog of war. I like these little wards that BLG have been able to put down just to keep track in the event that Shanks tries to make any sort of ulti play towards the mid lane. And so BLG are kind of responding well to the control that AL is trying to get here in the early games. We transition into that mid-game phase. Dragon spawning in about 1 minute and 15. And I wouldn't be surprised if BLG just concede it. Instead, look for a cross map. They don't need to force a fight right now. They're quite happy to scale with the lead that they're slowly building up.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
In terms of scaling,
for this sort of a game state to BLG,
it's probably BLG that have the better team comp.
That you do have the Azir, you have this Jax, and they are just kind of free scaling here on the other side. We haven't been able to see kind of any playmaking come out from Kyle.
The gangbang's up.
There's come out from Shanks on the Taliyah, even though he has really been the one having the push. So BLG in a great spot here, and I do think it's going to be important.
Dude, I hate compliments so much.
Be successful in the first team fights when they do actually take them. Wukong is now on Triforce. He is going to be at a really strong point in the game, but they have got to nail their engages when they go for him. Otherwise, I think the game's going to get away from them.
I will say, I take triple Triforce over single Triforce in every single fight. Bin, Beishwan, and Elk have already completed their
Holy
first
shit.
fights. Knight has an Ashes too.
I just felt like I was Triforce.
But that's still 100 stacks away from giving him the shield. So, although BLG could decide to seed the Drake, although they could decide to not fight it, I actually think in terms of raw power right now, they're definitely in the driver's seat.
I mean, great minds think alike, Medic. I was on the same wavelength with that one as Flandre goes for a bit of a trade and immediately regrets it.
Counter-strike comes in, there's a TP as well. Kyle trying to come up to join this fight, and Bin begins to retreat. Shanks is going to teleport forward. Bin has no flash. Weaver's wall will lock him on this side of the tower.
Oh my god, how many people are they sending top?
Will get knocked up using that Cyclone. Bin still jumping away.
Oh, dude, 4 people.
This is really nice. Now they can try to rush for first tower here up on that top side. They
can actually get top tower.
They should be able to win, but BLG also.
Oh, that's crazy.
On that bot lane tower. They obviously have the Trundle. Not going to be able to get it either way though. So first tower does go to AL. Yes, they should eventually lose the Dragon down on that bot side, and the tower will be matched. But if you can get this second turret as well, BLG very
holy
this
fuck.
One's dead too. AL making a massive play on the top side. That is going to be a huge gold swing.
You'll see the gold swing in there.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think that was possible.
Of that play, BLG will get their second Dragon, and it was actually AL who decided we don't want to take the fight around second Drake. We can fight around Soul Point, around Soul.
Wait, what else did you get? Oh, Spellbook?
Knight.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, with Knight down towards the bottom side of mid. There we are.
And I think it's really, really smart to actually play towards this York. Again, you need to make sure that you are enabling Flandre in that side lane. He's got to be able to compete against Bin, or he's just not going to have much of a purpose in this game. You can't have your York just perma-grouping. So being able to actually get out to that side lane, investing the resources there, you're only giving up a second Dragon. Try to set up for that third.
Oh, electrocute bar is weird.
Like exactly what Medic was saying.
I guess it's so you can like,
that is 3 Trinity
match the poke in lane. Besides that, I don't know what else would be good.
Look for the cross up, and they found an effective one, but BLG, they won't slow down. Realizing that they feel stronger right now, they're going to start off the Herald. AL is in a position to contest. Shanks doesn't have the ultimate, and there's not real any way for them to get good positioning on this fight.
But again, look at bot. Flandre is already working on that tower. Bin's going to have to TP down.
Base one rooted up there with the deadly flourish. Tempered fake
Oh.
out as well. KMTlol caught, has that pop blossom and has a flash.
On.
Use the flash early to try and escape, but as the curtains open, the shape splitter will block one, and Elk will block the next. Both of them on just to make sure the chase doesn't materialize.
What the fuck, dude?
As AL
Hope missed
tried to get
everything.
some exit kills as BLG were on the retreat, but
You didn't
they were
let
able
a
to
single
secure the
shot.
Herald, and they walk away safely. As AL, you were talking about that bot tower, and AL end up securing it.
Yeah, I mean, Grubs, Yorick, Triforce, that is a recipe for success against the tower. You're going to crush that thing ridiculously fast. So,
P.GG.
if Yorick is behind,
He probably
which at this
used
point he is not. He is slightly
P.GG for the
crush
runes.
towers. So, you know, they have to be really, really careful. If BLG commit 5 members to one side of the map, they can get punished on the other side. And I do think this is something that BLG has done a lot throughout this tournament, is they will heavily commit towards objectives. They're going to show up. They're going to try to force you to fight. But sometimes that does open up the opportunity for really successful cross-map plays. And I think this is something that at times BLG struggle with in the LPL as well. They don't always have the cleanest objectives.
Dude, I think Nico's so broken with that
thirsty around those.
W.
And as a result, teams that are very smart on how they play the map, like
The amount of
AL,
vision you control is
And
crazy.
sometimes that comes down to synergy as well. We have to remember Beishwan only joining the team this spring, halfway through the split. A change in coaching staff as well with Maokai leaving. So it is going to be a struggle for BLG when you look towards those things that are developed over 6 months, a year, 2 years, and that sort of synergy that AL can have.
And Knight was very frank about
Whatever.
that in the game day interview.
Hate on my Sona.
Talking about, and he wasn't sure if they
Fuck
had
you,
enough
bitch.
synergy built up.
Oh!
Potential
Weavers will
dive.
out, on caught up, the Ghouls will chase him.
Nah, then doesn't matter.
The morning mist, and BLG still able to defend.
Actually,
Still
what the
2
fuck was the
minutes
point
away
of
as
that
well.
wall?
There's an Articon coming up, but that's up towards the top side.
AL with really good just map play there. They'd gotten the push on the top lane, they had the push on the bot, and so they just collapsed from both sides to attack this mid lane. They were able to do a good amount of damage onto their opposition, along with chipping away at that tower. And it's not necessarily that they heavy committed. Ooh.
Oh.
Shanks needs to be careful, he's going to get chased down here.
Oh,
Dash
Shanks.
forward from Knight, still has the
Wait,
ambush
Knight didn't
device.
use wall.
Shanks
Oh,
on
it doesn't need
movement
to.
speed, but just doesn't have enough.
Damn.
Speed of warfare over to BLG.
Just as I was complimenting AL on their map pressure, they stepped too far on the top side of the map. Shanks goes to a space of the map that Knight and Beishwan were ready to
Why are
flash
we
him on.
flashing?
They get 3 kills, and they're able to find themselves another
What do you
pick.
mean? They flashed with Talia kill. Oh, and, oh, that's true. Okay,
A little bit
okay.
more on the back foot, 700 gold in the hole. They are still scaling through this game, of course, and it's the first time we've seen Shanks really make a mistake with his positioning. Obviously, could have gone the longer way round towards that top lane.
Yeah,
wave.
and
With
that is a
Beishwan
fair
and Knight
point.
In the area, they invest the flash, and they take down their enemy mid. Next objective, though, still a minute away, and once again, it's AL with the vision down towards that bottom side. Wards abound for them.
I feel like that Bin and Knight are actually setting up a bit of a freeze. Like, I feel like that wave has been sitting there for Bin for quite a while. And
He's
you
got
can
a
kinda,
50 CS
yeah, you
lead.
can see that developing in the 2 top laners. Same thing for Knight. I mean, he is just kind of catching the waves as they come, realizing that Yorick is here. He's now going to push that one out. But the timing is good. 40 seconds until the Dragon. They don't overpush. They realize that AL don't really have much of a play on the map. And so they're just picking up what farm they can and then not overextending. What was entirely blue at the bottom of your screen has now shifted entirely to red as BLG have amounted a 1.1k gold lead.
They'll be really happy with the spot they're in.
I mean, he's kind of
Want to get
behind,
towards
though.
These objectives first, if they can. A good pop blossom from out of vision can really spell disaster for AL, who can sit this one out. They don't have to fight for the 3rd dragon of the game. We often talk about how much pressure it puts on you as a team if you have the enemy team on that sole point.
Yeah, and especially when you are a composition that wants to play through sides, it makes it so much harder, right? Yeah. When then you are forced to group, no matter what the wave state is, no matter what the item completions are, you would be forced to go there. They're looking for Beishwan.
Kyle going in with the temper fade. There's Weaver's wall as well. The chase onto Beige.
Oh my god, they missed everything.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side,
Oh my god, Gale's running.
Trying to trade with Kyle. The redemption will be enough to heal up the bird. He gets the shutdown with it.
Oh, what the fuck? What's going on there?
They're gonna find 2 of this play.
That is huge, because that should get them the Dragon off the back of that as well. Not the cleanest execution as the Cosmic Binding missed, the Deadly Flourish missed, the Seismic Shove missed.
Yeah, everything
down,
missed.
They get the kill, they kill the support. I want to see them go straight towards this Dragon. They aren't going for it just yet, though. They're just playing towards Otacon. This is definitely riskier, but we can see that BLG is going for the Dragon on the other side, so this should be theirs. It does mean, though, that BLG will move to Soul Point here very early on.
I felt like BLG was doing such a good job of suffocating AL. The fact that Bin was just holding that.
I don't even know if that's good trade. Third Dragon for Otacon.
AL recognize, okay, we got to try and do something to try and break open the map a little bit more. They find a nice pick, and they quickly convert it into the Otacon. With those pedals secured, that goal difference is going to mean a lot less. As second items are being completed across the board, it's a very tense game one here between the two LPL representatives.
Yeah, that one's Soul Point, so... No, I meant, is it worth for AL to go for Otacon and give up Soul Point Dragon?
Putting the enemy team on Soul Point is not something you really want. Gold basically
okay, yeah.
the two of them.
Because AL had the choice, right? They could go to Dragon or Otacon.
I do think Mountain Soul also kind of uniquely effective against Jhin, who does more damage the lower you do get. Well, Mountain Soul makes it a lot harder to actually knock you down with that explosive engage from the Wukong, with the seismic shove to follow it up. So AL, you know, have been playing the map, have the Otacon, have the combat stats from that, but they're still not even up gold whatsoever. BLG is the one that are up gold and have really powerful scaling in the soul lanes and have really fighting advantage. So I think BLG definitely getting the better end of the trades.
I will say, Bin is
true.
70 CS, and there's a 90 goal difference.
Yeah, wait, why?
Emperor's Ride coming out. Flandre tries to go in with a dark possession. There's the tempo fade as well, but a teleport in time.
That was a TP. Holy shit.
That was very, very close. Knight able to escape. BLG now have position on the mid lane. This should be a tower secured. They're second of the game. Nicely done, opens up. A good collapse comes through from AL, but it doesn't quite convert into a kill.
And now BLG can path up towards the top side, gate AL away from any of this jungle, and allow Bin the opportunity to take the third tower of the game, extending his gold lead to about 430.
Yeah, Mountain Soul
about 1,500 golden stats
against Jhin, dude.
So
Jin's already useless as fuck.
Even here, we can see this one more time. Looking for the engage on a Knight. He immediately goes for the TP out because the cage is used. That's the only way that York can actually connect it, is at the edge of the cage. As soon as that's on cooldown, starts the TP. Bard ult, a split second too late there from Kyle.
What the fuck?
Bard ultimate about a third of the way from coming back off cooldown. Don't expect BLG to be really able to punish that in any way, with no major objectives up for the next 2 minutes. But let's have a quick look at where we are in terms of items. 2 items on both the AD carries. Elk 3 stacks away from finish his Mana Mune. Leandries and Seraphs complete for Shanks, whereas Knight has his Nash's, Rylai's, and another Haunting Guys in his inventory.
Did I forget
We
my
were pretty much
drink?
dead even at 2 items apiece, except for Tarzan, who does not yet have his second item. I do believe by the time we do get this next dragon, though, he's going to have that completed. So it should be pretty much a dead even fight as far as the combat stats are concerned between these two teams, and it feels like this is
Big holes on the back
at this next dragon. If AL are able to deny it, the game goes on. If BLG do take it, it feels like they really get a stranglehold.
On paper, my instincts give
So
BLG
dumb.
the advantage in the straight up 5 versus 5. When I think about Corki plus Azir, the range, the poke, and also just the consistent damage, the backline threat that Bin's going to have onto Hope, the amount of peel that Kale can provide, I think is going to be the biggest difference maker. How is that Bard ultimate used? What does it actually do? Who does it CC up? Can they find a nice Talia combo? Will Tarzan actually make it impossible for Elk to play in the fight? When it comes to watching 2 LPL teams fight,
The Jhin items is Ghostblade Rapid Fire.
Teams in the world.
I mean, I feel like AL basically has to start
Is
the fight
so
off by killing
weak.
Elk and Knight, or they're just not going to win, right? And that is very difficult because I do think the range advantage is also on BLG's side. You know, when you are trying to go forward, you're having to fight through the Trundle, through the Jax, through the Pop Blossom to actually reach these carries that are going to be so powerful.
I've seen people go Collector.
AL is in a uniquely difficult position, and it's
Like Collector IE.
creative. Find a really good Bard ult, or Tarzan's going to have to come from an unexpected angle. Otherwise, things are going to get very, very tough.
Just to note, like, we've been talking a lot about Bin's farm, but he is close to the Flame Horizon. I'm curious as to whether or not he'll
Yo,
be
Peter
able to
Pan, good
complete
morning.
this game, as the dragon spawns in about 50 seconds.
Big completion there for Bin. Does now have the Seekers that he just actually purchased. So yes, he's not on that third item, but Seekers is in.
AL. Let's go AL.
Is at least showing itself in some.
Got outrun Trundle, true, actually.
Pretty impactful.
Okay.
We've only been talking about Bin and how well he's been CSing in that
Good choice.
isolated top lane matchup. But
Dude, if
look
the
at
better
Knight,
AL
both of them
does,
going at
the
well
more
over
I can
10
say
CS a minute
CFO's
as
just
well, whereas
best
on the
team.
other side, Hope is about there. Shanks is
If AL 3-0s every team,
Trophies on one team,
then
apparently.
we could be like, oh, CFO went 3-1, therefore CFO's the second best team. So the better AL does, the better CFO looks.
The early lane assignments. I think the AL really kind of mismanaged that. Flandre was completely starved on the top side. Well, Bin spent a couple minutes on bot side just getting every bit of farming experience uncontested.
Okay, Dragon's up. They have no vision control over Dragon.
It's BLG that get the push. Knight takes a bit of damage down. He will put the turret up in mid, making it harder for BLG to approach.
Yeah, they have like no wards, nothing.
Tarzan has found an angle to the bot side.
BLG are losing waves to that bot lane tower, but they won't really mind about that right now.
Yeah, I think CFO did really well, but yeah, we still have BO5 issues.
Top side of the river, really, they have
EU had a good run back to EU. I don't know, I think they have to swim.
Bin trying to mark anyone that comes around the back of the blue buff.
Oh, Shanks. Okay. I don't know if that's... Oh, okay, they land the combo. On's dead.
Begin to turn the fight in their favor. They're still looking for this dragon. The curtain's open.
Tarzan.
Ooh. That was a very tense fight.
Yeah, Dragon.
Fighting for position, but given that BLG actually had position in the river first, AL had to play it slow and rely on their poke. I was worried for Kyle, but we talked about how that Bard ultimate could be a game changer. He connects it, and they find the pick.
I mean, this is
really Fnatic fans. I'm a Fnatic fan.
Bin jumps in, but they can't quite
I hate Fnatic.
He gets back, and then this ulti right here. Look at the seismic shove. Last time they were not on point. This time it is perfectly timed. They land the cosmic binding, even with the flash. Bin is stunned on the other side of the flash. On gets deleted. Now Bin has no way to access the backline without that flash. They get the first kill. They chase them out and take the dragon. Really well executed there from Kyle and Shanks. The seismic shove, perfect.
And catching out on as well.
I think people exaggerate how bad EU is.
That's when you can really
because think about it. Okay, EU lost to CFO, and then G2 lost to FlyQuest. The #1 team from NA beat the #2 team from Europe. It's like, yeah, dude. What if MKoi got to play against Fly? That would be a more even matchup.
Between these two teams from the LPL.
We cannot return to a farm state right now. Of course, the Baron. Ooh, ultimate used by Kyle forces the rocket belt out from On. But yeah, right now it's mainly just, again, the contest tour position. With so many of the towers gone, AO would love to secure this mid tower, but it's a very difficult siege against Azir and the Corki. So instead, they're going to set off some vision around.
But NA has, like...
Yeah, it has been really interesting, because clearly
I don't know, dude.
That confident to actually push in for that 1v1 against Bin. Bin has been able to scale through the early levels.
It's unfair to compare #1 versus #2.
Going the way of the Yorick. So it hasn't really been much
because think about it. Okay, last year, Team Liquid beat Fnatic. Team Liquid is the #1 team. Fnatic was #2. Where was FlyQuest last year? They lost to PSG in play-ins. They didn't even make top 8. FlyQuest last year didn't make top 8. The #2 NA team did not make top 8. But nobody talks about that.
Finds creative ways to gain access onto the backline.
Gen G won yesterday.
Ruining that coordination is something that I think
G2 last year beat top esports. I don't remember Team Liquid ever beating an Eastern team.
Straight up front to back, we still do
World.
with that composition.
Team Liquid lost to GAM. 100 Thieves didn't even make it to World's group stage. Yo, homie, thanks for the sub.
Tries to avenge his fallen support. Will land the shots on, but he's tanky enough to survive through them. Has that Warden's Mail complete.
They got the TP off of Flandre and Knight there, so Bin is going to have TP advantage. Yes, Shanks could potentially.
Yeah, but they don't win though.
Getting aggressive here.
To dodge away from the deadly flush and avoids the seismic shove. AO still have a bit of vision around this pit, but that's now.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Knight's going to start up the Baron. Anyone's legend. Don't have vision yet, but Tarzan and Hope are on their way. Their prying eyes will
like, I don't know, man. I just think... Oh, Tarzan! Oh, they have to run out. Wait, what's going on there? Flandre? I'm just dead.
Flandre dead, BLG find another, KMTlol's back alive.
Yeah, BaseOne barely gets out, had almost no HP. You could hardly see the health bar there, but
Caps is washed.
They kill off
Maybe.
And Kyle is back, so they are able to stave off the Baron attempt.
But I'm just saying
BLG,
that
but they do
people
still come up
act like
with that
NA
kill.
better than
It
EU
does
is a
cost
fact.
Mighty's
It's
flash.
not.
They got the flash off
If you use
of
your
both Flandre
brain,
and
you can
Tarzan,
easily
so
see.
kind of Summer's just being traded
There's a
back.
reason why
It was a tense
NA
night on two fronts.
does better than
Fights on
EU.
two fronts.
Just because NA teams get eliminated really quickly.
AL find a really nice engage onto BLG while they're not collectively attacking the Baron. The fact that they could kind of split BLG up looked very favorable.
Or
for
they get
AL,
really
though
good
they were at a
draws.
disadvantage. But then once BLG
FlyQuest
was able to
versus
disengage from the Baron
BLG.
fight
BLG
and then
is the
provide
weakest
protection for Knight, you can see how
team,
quickly the
the
fight
weakest
turned in
Eastern
their
team
favor.
at MSI, and they still couldn't win. They still couldn't do it.
BLG anymore. Only Elk has his up. I think
I was like, hi, mom, dudes are calling. Okay, Moon. Take care.
But if they can land a good tempered fate, the follow-up is absolutely absurd from this team. They have so much long-range lockdown. They have the curtain call. They have
Enjoy
the
your
walls
mom,
to split out the
duties.
fight. BLG need to be cautious about how they navigate this next fight.
They absolutely do, but it's not the easiest champions to actually land that on. Even the Trundle, you can drop the Frozen Domain. You know, for the additional move speed, you have the Dead Man's Plate. You have obviously the ability to dash on the
Neither doesn't have
Corki
good
and
top
on the Azir
laners.
and on the Jax.
I mean,
And
neither
the
does
Rocket out there
NA.
from Han. So there's a lot of tools they have to dodge it out. Pressure big on Kyle.
On dodging away from the tempered fate there, AL once again pathing down towards the bottom side, trying to get some purchase in this river. Bin looking for the flank. He'll jump into the pit. On separated, but gets on the right side of the Weaver's wall as BLG start up the dragon.
That wall kind of sucks.
On doesn't have the flash, but that Pop Blossom can be deadly. AL trying to gain some purchase in the river here. BLG holding them at bay. There's a pillar. On still looking for that flank. Kyle now marking him as BLG will take the 4v4. Kyle on up towards the top.
Tarzan cut to flip.
The mountain secured by Tarzan, and he'll
Okay,
get killed
Jin,
on the back
come
of it
on,
as well.
show me your damage.
BLG separated.
Oh!
In from Knight, knocked back
Knight!
by the seismic shove. Shanks will fall.
Oh my
Beishan
God.
almost follows. The curtains open. Hope wants an encore. He lands one onto Bin. BaseOne will dive towards the top side. Bin
Jin's
dashes
missing
away.
every
Knight
shot.
trying to open up, but he just doesn't have the
Please.
damage. Rooted with a deadly flourish and taken
Oh.
by anyone's legend.
Massive fight there for AL. Tarzan gets
Time to buy
this
back
fight
Inspired,
critically denying
yeah.
the Mountain Soul in what was such a close fight here.
You, okay, but dude, you need to have ego to be good.
While Kyle is doing his best to keep on
You,
from getting
you think the
engage on
best
Tarzan.
Western players did not have ego?
He's looking for more of a fight, but the ghouls will keep him at bay alongside
Perks, Caps, Wonder, Yankos, Mickey X had massive egos.
The main takeaway from that last fight was how AL just again controlled the flanks.
Vladi, dude, they're getting better though. Kalist and Vladi are getting better.
Sure that On couldn't get it, but even when he did, the follow-up from BLG, they just couldn't quite close that gap. The amount of zone
Shut
control
up,
that
dude.
AL was able to provide.
Don't talk
meant that
about
their fight
Barrel
was
gang in this
ultimately-
chat.
They didn't have the coordination needed to pull the fight off.
Yeah, but he's young, though.
Is playing these fights
18.
so aggressively, and it feels like they're always the ones putting the pressure on the enemy carries. On doesn't feel like he has been able to get into the backline whatsoever. And you look at every fight, Hope is just chilling in the backline. You know, channeling
Yes,
his
Soaz
ultimate,
has
you know,
massive
being able to
ego.
have the space to get done when he needs to get done. And now some of these luxury items.
Okay, but you
also
don't.
come
You think
through
Honky
for
does not
AL
have
as
a
well.
massive
You see the
ego?
GA now completed there for Tarzan, and that is going to be a big one. Is going to be able to full send it on someone like Knight or Elk, push them back in this fight, and again, continue to create more space for his
But
carries that have been performing
Didn't
so well.
didn't Vladi do well at first stand?
Right now, On trying to step forward and garner some back here for BLG. On the back
Oh,
foot, it's AL
I
starting
mean,
off
but
the
he's
back.
surrounded by
BLG playing
veterans.
for the mid lane prio, but AL calling their bluff. There's the temper fate onto BaseOne. The Baron's still at 10,000. On goes
Oh, that looks crazy. 5 man. Oh shit! Knight with the Shurima shuffle. Oh yeah, that looks way better than the results, but holy fuck, that looks so hype. That was a crazy Nico ult.
The seismic shove will connect, but Elk's on a killing spree.
Okay, I can't even tell if this is good or bad. Oh my god, Ale's winning this. Holy shit. Dude, that was a crazy Nico ult, dude. What the fuck?
Wombo combo still wasn't enough to beat AL.
Yeah, they're all over the place, dude. That was crazy.
To start the Baron off.
Yeah.
The steal.
BaseOne almost has flashback.
We'll have the flash. The smite's still on cooldown. Tarzan sticking on the Baron right now as Beishuan tries to find a way back into this pit. Doesn't have vision on the Baron.
Oh my
Now
god.
does. Loses it again. He's dodging back and forth. 3,000 on the Baron. Beishuan kept at bay by Flandre, but has the flash. He jumps in.
Oh!
Once again,
Tarzan, dude. Oh my god.
Tarzan coming up
Dude, that is
massive for AL.
crazy.
And though the engage
Holy
looked so good
fuck.
from on, the follow-up was way too slow. Most of the carries couldn't really get there. Knight had to commit everything.
Dude,
just
holy
to get in range
shit.
for this follow-up.
Dude,
So
look at this
once
play by
one more
On,
time,
dude.
Look at where Elk is.
It's
Look at where the rest of the team
crazy.
is. Look at those three.
Oh.
Yes, the engage looks great, but where's the team? They're behind the wall. They can't get there and get the damage done during the CC. So though it looks beautiful,
It looks fucking amazing, dude. Even with the Shurima shuffle.
Another tempered fate finds its mark. Elk the target though for AL as they chase him down. On with a pop blossom, only finds a single root.
Oh,
It's two
man.
more to anyone's legend.
Pick after pick, AL with the Baron are sieging through these towers. They're collecting the standing gold. A root connects on the Knight.
Oh,
Flashes away from the seismic shot. The Ghouls will chase him from that morning mist. And now BLG are wondering how do we
Yeah,
defend
yeah, yeah.
35 seconds
Dude,
before Elk
it's
is
all
back
over
on
the
rim.
place.
On has 20 seeing grayscale as well. AL with this Baron push could just end the game.
I mean, look at the Grubs, look at the York. They're crushing through these towers so fast.
Knight is here. Emperor's Divide available. The Dark Possessions try and keep him away. Bin trying to
Oh
trade
my
that
god,
game,
can
but
you
just can't
end?
find a way into that backline. The counter-strike used only defensively as the first Nexus tower falls. On
Oh
his
my
way, he's a
god, dude.
minion. He'll get
Your
the
Q
counter,
hurts
dives in
so
with the
much.
Cyclone. Bin trying to get on the backline as well with the counter-strike, but Bin is gone.
Oh, he's dead. It's over, right?
Into the
Come on,
shadow
Hope.
wells. Knight jumps on the
Hope, you're
backline.
just standing in melee range. Oh my god, dude.
And Knight is
I
down.
thought Hope was gonna
Hope is
die.
up, but he's the only one for his team right now as he tries to defend.
Oh,
his
man.
Nexus, and AL won't give him a
Ah,
moment to breathe.
GG, boys. AL. So good.
And claims game one.
A deathless game for Tarzan with some immaculate steals denying the soul from BLG. Some crazy
York,
team
so
fighting and then
shut
rounding
up,
it
dude.
out with some fantastic picks. AL cement a solid victory to start off this series.
And it seems like maybe more of the same from the LPL playoffs as AL are able to claim the win. We're going to head over to the analyst desk to break down that game one.
That was absolutely amazing from AL. I don't know what you guys think about this game because it felt close, but really not at the same time.
This feels like two LPL teams in an international event. We kind of set it up how LPL teams, when they face each other,
Dude.
internationals, things can
You
go
wanna know what's
a little
crazy?
haywire. I'm not going to say I agreed with all the decisions that anyone's legend made in this game.
These are the groups.
However,
This is
that Baron
CFO plus 3 other teams. What the fuck? What is the skill gap here, dude? Who'd you rather have? FlyQuest, MGlory, or HLE? Yeah, I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow.
Is mind-boggling to me. I think
My voice
realistically
feels fine,
realistic,
so-
This was one good smite from
Dude, this is
away from
crazy
Seoul
cap.
going over to BLG.
Yeah.
This fight might have looked completely different.
I don't know how
It's
they're
the
gonna
team fighting from
see
AL
the
that I think
teams.
here we see they're just on
Pool.
another level.
This is a pool 4?
particular,
Wait a minute.
Yorick
Pool
is
4?
not always the champion that you want.
What?
coming in
Wait, what?
to your team fight. Typically, you want a park camp.
Wait,
in a
what the
side lane. We actually
fuck?
saw Ben catching a lot
CFO
of
could
those
potentially
side
get
lane
Cloud9
plays.
or
So
Hanwha
that is the
live?
only Yorick that
What
I would
the
trust
fuck?
in a team fight, and this
What
still
the fuck?
comes down to the wire.
And we saw that during the CFO game as well. You don't want to send this guy in the sideline. You want to keep
Oh, we're probably gonna get Hanwha.
tossing goals at people.
They'll probably be
And
like
when
something
you look at
stupid like
whatever
MKoi,
BLG did in the
Hanwha,
early game,
and
because
Furia.
they had the map control, they were
What?
stacking Drakes, they were making all the right decision. It was
What
never
the
enough.
fuck?
Yeah, the big thing to me that we did see.
Dude,
from
that's
BLG that
omega
was positive,
fucked.
Again,
Oh,
a
we're going
return
home.
to this prior
We're going home
round
ASAP.
break. We talked about it up until the T1 series. That's
Oh,
something they
shit,
heavily
dude.
prioritized. And then Beichuan looks so much more in
So
tune with his lanes
fucked.
early.
And that was the big sticking point coming in, and I think the only reason why those early fights went the way that they did, we did see Beishuan actually get a lot of successful ganks off But then the troubles that have plagued BLG, that lack of cohesion in fights, I think we very clearly did see it as we got to the actual 5v5s.
Step by step, get the jungler on the same page with the rest of the team. Now get the team synced up together, because we saw during these fights that AL was able to make the best, especially because of the composition.
Asian Masters ends on Friday. Esports World Cup ends on Sunday.
About the way he was able to contest that, about the way he was able to play Bard at his limit, because thanks to the reliable 6-core network, every second counts, and he demonstrates what it looks like when you take Bard to the limits.
Yeah, basically the Toledo wall comes through, Bin tries to jump on him, he actually ends up flashing out, healing, then gets the Bard ult off to get on to On, and that does give so much more space for AL to set up. This actually was so crucial too, because BLG had that early Drake stacking.
That Jhin Bard 1-2 when it comes to absorbing blows, and then your enemies will never be able to get away. Right? The Jhin ultimate means that you're always going to be at a really big deficit when you try to disengage. And if Kyle plays that a little bit worse, he ends up dying, they lose that fight. That's soul. So that play, absolutely pivotal.
And I do want to point out the Yorick damage here. because again, this Yorick coming in to team fights, Flandra, we've talked about him playing this pick. I actually do want to point out the gold between him and Bin in this game, because early on, it did look like Bin was soaking up a lot of that side lane pressure that you'd kind of want the Yorick to have. However,
Corki win rate
comes out ahead.
You're like, we're not going to see that champion again. Thanks for BLG for the rest of this series. But for now, anyone's legend opens up the score. They take game one. Let's see if BLG can fight back right after this.
For ADC, it's 60%. For mid, it's 33%. That's not bad. Yeah, double 80 comps, it's really... Yeah, also, you have a really good jungler.
Master of 9 shots. Oppo Find XX series.
Oh, I can't find my shit.
Powerful AI.
Yeah, if you have Junja with Lilia, yeah, that's different.
What a car. Living the dream, huh?
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to...
Okay. I get it now.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Oh yeah. don't know what this is.
Ain't no way of stopping what I'm destined to be. I'm here for greatness. I was made for more. I got my focus sure. Heart is ready, mind is right.
Oh man.
Stop now. There ain't no way I'll ever quit. My life loud. They try to hold me back, but I won't lie down. This is something they can't deny. The truth's out. I got that fire now. Let them know. Nothing can hold me back.
Yeah, I think EU's downfall is greatly exaggerated. Yeah, I watch a lot of LEC. I prefer it over NA. I got AL this series, yeah. Then AL against one, yeah, me too. I have AL making it to the finals.
Let me throw it down to the ground, make them turn around, and then we can
Bin trying to get on the back line as well with the counter strike, but Bin is gone. Flandre sends into the Shadow Isles. Knight jumps onto the back line. Shank's still surviving alongside Hope.
I think AL's really strong.
Elk is up, but he's the only one for his team right now as he tries to defend his Nexus, and AL won't give him a moment to breathe. Say the last rites for BLG. Flandre puts a shovel in his head and claims game one. And we're back and ready for game two here. Good one, Betty. Good one. There's a camera there as well. You're going to do it to that camera?
I have no idea where that camera
I think it's over there.
That's right. I'm impressed. I was like, wow, he knew where that was.
Yeah, he guessed left.
I did guess left, yeah.
One of you guys want to say something?
Hello, welcome back.
No, I thought you were supposed to talk.
Oh, okay.
Let's let him stew in this awkwardness.
I'm happy. Like, I'm basically a color caster now. I hit Master in EU, which is known as the hardest solo queue region. So,
based on the tournament's results, it's actually the easiest solo queue region. So,
and we have no counter argument.
You think our pros play solo queue? Anyway, we're here for game two between AL and BLG, whereas BLG managed to pick up an early lead in game one, but anyone's legend fought back valiantly through the team fights too.
In a bit of a surprising way, to me at least, too, because I do kind of think of AL as the team that does play the map better, that is generally better with their lane assignments, their objective setups, but I felt that BLG really did earn their advantage through map play, through macro play. You know, actually the lane swap there from Bin down towards bot
let's see the draft.
AL either couldn't or wouldn't match it. Really did earn him a massive CS advantage that put them in a spot where I thought they were heavily favored for that game. But it all came down to team fights, Tarzan hitting critical smite after critical smite, the Baron, the soul denial, those were massive. And AL really executed so well in these team fights.
No Tabe, no win. Of course, Tabe, previous coach of BLG. After leaving BLG, not long after, he did make his way over to AL, and since joining AL alongside Tarzan, this organization has found nothing but success. We're jumping into draft, our second one of the day, powered by Omen and HyperX. And the Pantheon for Poppy trade. The Galio likely going to be the Rumble trade on the other side, coming through from AL. Oh, the Vi, going to be the first to ban. You expect the Rumble to be banned away unless Flandre has something prepared for us as a response into it. And then the question is, where does Varus fall on the chain? If you perhaps there's a world where you're willing to give Bin the Rumble in exchange to get yourself the Varus. We know that so far in this tournament, AL have really prioritized taking that Varus away. But now they have to make a choice. Do they want to give away that Rumble or do they want to remove the Varus?
Those are their two main options here. As you say, could ban something else out and give up either the Rumble or the Varus over to BLG, depending on where their priorities lie.
Yeah, exactly. You can either just bin either and trade, right?
Yeah,
like, and trading OPs, I think, can be quite effective there. So Varus is going to be banned out. We'll see if it is going to be the bin Rumble. Getting a slam down here as that first pick. It is his most played so far this split. But it is interesting because even though he plays it all the time, there, kind of is this stigma around him and his Rumble. It's not his favorite champion to play. It is not one that people really associate with him, being
wow, Rumble's open, okay.
Said it's going to be Rel for on his most played this split.
So interesting to actually see that as a first pick with Alistar still up and available as an easy
Yeah,
answer.
what the fuck?
I do think Kyle
Who first picks Rel?
But high priority on that Rel. Feels like we might be setting up for something like a Rel MF. It is something that I do think is quite popular in the LPL, that they play well around. And I do feel like it is the best support pairing for that MF, so it's kind of leading me in that direction.
I love this rise for Shanks, though. 11 games on it, has won 10 of them this split. He is an absolute demon on the Rift with this champion, and it gives you so much mobility around the map with the Realm Warp. Looks like AL are going to add a Lucian for Hope alongside it. Really aggressive early lane. Also, the ability to avoid Rel crashing down is so powerful for your AD carry.
Could also pair the Braum up on the bot side of the map, alternatively to the Alistar. Lucian,
sorry, I just got a text message.
Variation in his bot lane partner as opposed to just the Lucian Nami that we saw for so long.
Oh my god, dude.
Now the Rumble's still up.
Rumble's still up.
To go for it. Like, they could slam something like a Rumble Annie if they wanted to. They could also get the Ahri for Knight as a response into the Rise. They could even do Syndra. I think matching your AD carry also makes a ton of sense. We've seen Ezreal be so effective at this tournament. Just the range, the poke that he provides, and the teamfight comp that BLG is rapidly developing. They will forego their jungler for now.
It might be.
Talking about being hovered by AL to mitigate some of the engage coming through from BLG.
Yeah, I like the Braum. Obviously teams up really well with the Lucian with that concussive blows passive. Elcon is Ezreal though, 80% win rate on it this split. Super comfortable on this champion, and his ability just to see the moment to fight, see the moment to go in on the Ezreal. Arcane shifting forward, using that lethal tempo so effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is stellar on the pick, and while they are not electing to go for the MF,
yeah, well,
equalizers, is about that one.
Tomorrow's match will be really hype.
Carries, lock them up and burst them down.
Because it's gonna be T1 versus the winner of the series.
Potential here,
dude, holy
Rumble,
shit!
One of the classic solo lane combos here. Knight definitely a strong Yone player as well, and that will be removed.
Aurora is the other pick you need to be cautious of as well. Where you think about Knight and like what we've seen a lot from him and how he effectively uses it, this Aurora could be super effective. Oh, interesting that they're removing some of the safer options that we've typically seen from Flandre as a response to the Rumble to try and make that topside matchup as favorable for Bin as possible.
I do always have a little bit of a concern about the full double AP solo laners though, especially, with Ezreal kind of as your main physical damage. Of course, there are still some good solid physical damage jungle pairings available, but will it be interesting to see if they do want to go for that Rumble Aurora.
I wonder if they'll move away from a possible Sejuani as well with the Yone being banned out. That double melee solo laners really facilitates a Sejuani in the early game. The Skarner banned out by AL as their final ban. Maokai, lots of tanks getting removed in this second phase.
Things like... Well, I was going to say Jarvan. I was going to... Oh, wow, okay. I was about to give a bunch of reasons why I thought Jarvan would be good here, especially into champions like Ezreal. Into Rumble, you do have good lockdown. And I guess that in terms of your skirmishing and engage power, it could be a pretty effective pick. We'll see how things pan out for Tarzan.
I wonder if it's a bit of a denial here from Beishwan, thinking that, with the equalizer, with the Rumble, that maybe they are a little bit worried about that potential concern. As you said, Aurora, good pairing with Rumble, but I do wonder what jungle they're going to be looking for here as a physical damage option for Tarzan.
Sin, Nocturne maybe?
Yeah.
Nocturne maybe has a little bit too much dive into the Braum.
I mean, it feels like they just want to full send it with this comp, right? So I do have the concerns, though, that if Rise gets to a good point in the game, like, you are very short range or very upfront damage. If you are not one-shotting this Rise, he is going to clean up the team fight. And you're trying to do this full dive, like kind of like one-punch style comp where you're going in Nocturnal. You turn off the lights. All of a sudden, you have the flanking Aurora not getting spotted because the lights are
every
off.
Jarvis first support,
if you do not win the fight with that initial play, it feels so devastating. And Sion is up and available when you're talking about all these tanks getting, banned out. That one
is Jarvan the play here
from the ban list, and Sion I feel like has been so effective here at MSI at creating space. Now you're trying to go. I
think Sion is fine.
Sion,
Jarvan is weird to me
as well. I feel like AL are very well set up to absorb the engage that BLG are drafting for. So I am pretty concerned about what they've cooked up.
I seem to remember a similar comp from T1 yesterday, where they had Talia Lucian, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we thought it was low damage.
And exactly, you and I were watching at home, and I thought to myself, this composition has too little damage. It's very short range as well. And I look at this comp, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of short range. But what we found was super interesting was that if you kind of treat it as a pick comp, it's actually very quick and effective at just catching a target out, executing them, creating a numbers advantage. And things like Braum do a good job of mitigating some of that engage tool. I wonder if it's going to pan out the same way, though. Just like with Ezreal and Aurora, with the amount of mobility and disengage tool they have, the way to get out of those sticky situations. I wonder if Tarzan's going to be able to find those engages.
Non-subscribers will see you in 30 seconds time.
I think Braum is like really strong.
I like AL's comp way more. Yeah. I actually think it's going to be really hard for BLG to actually be able to reach the carries, knock down the Rise. I feel like Rise is a potential 1v9 pick in a game like this. Shanks has been playing very, very well. He's on the Rise. Rise just naturally gets so tanky. When I'm thinking about these double AP soul lanes, when I'm thinking about the CC that they're going to be relying on, early Merc Treads, Archangels, Roa, Zonias, are you going to be able to actually deal with the Rise through all of these defensive tools, through the locket that is going to be there from Kyle on the Braum?
Doesn't feel nice to play. Yes, so.
Especially, I know it's not that popular, especially among the LPL Scions, but things like Titanic, to me, are so good in a game like this. It actually adds a lot more damage for you.
Before we get further into the game, we're going to hand it over to Shox, who's standing by with the Chinese streamer, RP.
Definitely so. Hello, Avi. How are you finding the tournament here? You are, of course, a co-streamer from China.
Yeah. Feeling really great, and I think there's a lot of audience here, and everyone's very hyped and exciting for the games. Oh,
maybe you have to cast it?
Oh yeah. Well,
we're safe. We're safe.
Okay, we're safe. Nothing happened level 1. Okay.
Can I get your opinion on this matchup? Of course, BLG has
Abby
not
played
been
in Oceanic
as we remember them internationally, I would say. So what do you think of their draft in Game 2?
I want to talk about the Game 1 draft first. I think they kind of playing different compared to before. Like they pick Azir, which Knight doesn't really play the champion a lot, right? And they picked Corki, which is definitely a hope champion pool champion. And yeah, and even they lost, I think they still trying different things to win the game. Yeah.
We'll see how they do here. I was just wondering, have you met any other co-streamers here that you like?
Yeah, I see I Will Dominate, and I actually was a big fan of him when, like, 10 years ago, because I don't know if you remember, like 10 years ago or like 8 years
he's
ago,
talking so much.
To Australia.
Why aren't they asking you questions? I have no idea, dude. They don't like me.
And he went RCE server, he played the server, tried to climb to Challenger, something like that. And yeah, I watch his YouTube.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We found the only I Will Dominate fan in the building. That's amazing. Thank you.
We did, what the fuck?
Used to play for Peace
so toxic.
In OCE.
Benton at GG most recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting game 2 here. AL looking to move us to match point. BLG obviously trying to avoid that fate here. These teams just so familiar with each other, which I always find very, very interesting. We heard Api talking about the fact that, Knight is not really known as a big Azir guy, but sometimes you have to kind of reach into the bag of tricks, try to subvert expectations when you are playing against a team that has had your number and that knows you so damn well. It's really hard, I think, when you're fighting against a
Shock savage.
like that, just go do exactly what they are expecting.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It's also what makes you good and what made you get to the finals is what made you get to the finals as well. So sometimes you can overcook. You can overwork the dough a little bit and it can cause some problems. So I'll be talking about it in game 1 with the Azir pick for BLG.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting, right?
What do you mean? I'm hella
A
interesting.
little bit aggressive here.
Knight going down onto Hope. On is running Unsealed Spellbook in this game, as is KMTlol. So we'll see those summoner spells switching around through the mid game.
Yeah, I did kind of get the impression that Knight wasn't that confident coming into this matchup, you know, because of that interview that we saw, as this looks like it's going
Oh! Bugs went in, but they can't kill Hope. Hope! Buff, double buffs!
On needs to get away, but
Oh, you sent it. You sent it. Oh, no.
The Braum passive providing so much value in that
Oh,
early
Robbie,
skirmish.
you called it. This motherfucker just ran.
Right from the get-go, and they secure 2 kills.
Knight gonna chase Shanks out here. Flash forward for the weirding, the twofold hex, not enough to get the kill. Both flashes burnt.
Even with Shanks' late flash, they're not actually avoiding any of the damage, still able to survive. Knight really wanted that one as the team was falling behind early. And if you're going to go for a kill like this, you have got to kill Hope instantly, but they couldn't quite get it. Look at this. KMTlol immediately jumps in, blocks all of the
Braum shield.
And then as soon as the fight does not immediately go the way of BLG, you are cooked. Braum in these early skirmishes dominates
Damn,
you.
dude.
And it was ultimately just a fight for the
Dude, the guy-
Both junglers were like, I think my bot lane is strong enough to be able to contest you. And it ends up being BLG that pull the trigger, but it does not quite go the way that they want to. Now the swap towards the top side of the map.
I mean, look at the buy from the bot lane.
Oh, it's so good for anyone's legend here as On is able to keep KMTlol around. But it's a battle in the jungle once again. It's Tarzan coming on out on top in that battle of the jungle once again. He's having a really good series so far, and I think after it taking him 7 attempts to win a title, now we're starting to see Tarzan really unleashed.
I mean, it's really exciting as a Tarzan fan, as someone who really felt like this guy was the best player in the world to never win a regional title, right? You know, he had not been able to accomplish that. 0 for 6 in regional finals, finally is able to do it. And not only did he do it, he did it with one of the largest exclamation points I've ever seen. His Zed game to close out the finals, I think had the most impressive mechanical team fight I've ever seen, period, in League of Legends. I thought that was mind-blowing. And I really do feel like sometimes when these players, you know, get that first title, get that first trophy, you can then kind of have the floodgates open and really take over.
Especially doing it against players that have denied you from it in the past. In 23, 24, Bin, Knight, On, and Elk were the players that denied Tarzan that first title. Now he's claimed it. We'll see how much his career can accelerate from here, because he's already had an incredibly illustrious one. Only really international success is what could improve it. On and Elk forced away. The pickaxe, longsword already.
I don't know, man.
It's such a difficult trade.
I feel like the game's shit on so hard.
And that's here.
And it does feel like this year, there's a lot of pressure on these LPL teams. They're coming off of a very disappointing first stand from TES, where HLE was not really challenged whatsoever. The LCK dominated first stand, crushed all comers. Shanks could be in some trouble.
Beishwan looking for mid here. Shanks
Mm-hmm.
should be able to sidestep everything. Beishwan, the Realm Warp coming out. He's used the Strand of Darkness already, so he no longer has a spell shield. And Shanks is
Oh my God, Shanks! Shanks!
And Shanks is down. Now can
Okay,
Beishwan
Tarzan.
answers no as Tarzan answers with a kill of his own.
That's the problem.
Being a 1-for-1 trade.
Hey, they get the 3 kills
I
though.
admire the aggression from Shanks, but Beishwan, he played it smart. He committed the fear onto Shanks, knowing that Shanks just had the lower HP pool. Knight, with good target selection with his jungler, looked to lock him down as quickly as possible. Knight also picking up that kill is really valuable in the matchup, especially given that he'd already committed the flash earlier on. But AL doing what we see often here at MSI, swapping this bot lane into mid lane to help contest that mid wave, ready to contest the first grub spawn.
Absolutely, but you know, back to the first standpoint, just the idea I think is that for these LPL teams, they really want to represent their region well, even more so because of the disappointment at first stand. They want to be able to show that they can actually challenge the best LCK teams in the world. AL took Gen G to 5 games, and coming into this tournament, most people I think thought Gen G were going to run away with it, that they were going to dominate. AL proved that was not the case, and I think they are very hungry to have a shot at T1 and to have a potential rematch against Gen G to show we can do more than get close, we can take you down.
I mean, I think BLG will be equally as hungry, losing to T1 in Worlds Finals last year, losing to Genji at MSI last year.
Do you think AL can beat T1?
For AL, first time on the international stage, but with a roster that has managed to pick up the wins in the LPL playoffs. But BLG,
I feel like it's tough, dude.
They can manage to get through to those finals and take
Okay,
home the trophy. TP
Hope
coming in
just
from AL
zones
as
him out
they
with an
defend the
ult.
grubs. The culling as well from Hope forces on away. And those will be the first 3 grubs of the game going over to anyone's legend.
Tarzan again out to a really
Flandre
big
also
lead
TP
here.
top.
Let's talk about the BLG side again. You know, Bin has had so much success at MSI. This guy reminded us on stage 3 straight MSI finals. You know, he is not to be overlooked here. 2022 wins MSI, 2023 second, 2024 second. He is getting there, and he said it. Don't forget. He has been there back to back to back, and he's looking to try to get his team to a 4th straight MSI, which is an insane achievement.
It's very uncommon for Bin not to be in finals.
Yep.
He just finds a way, and I mean the man has
Dude,
been so
Bin is
talented
built
for so long.
different.
I remember casting him back on Suning all those years ago, 2020.
Made finals in his first year.
Yes, he did. The Fiora Pentakill in the finals. He had a good start to the Jax game. He ultimately couldn't close things out in game 1. Now on his Rumble that we've been seeing a lot so far this year, he's built up a bit of a lead in terms of the 1v1 matchup. He's now on the bot side of the map, assisting BLG secure the first dragon of the game. I think that AL is a little too slow to respond to this objective, and even though they'll be in the area, it'll be a difficult steal.
Oh!
Trying to get in there. There's the Cataclysm. Paranoia used.
Oh my god.
And will flag and drag to safety.
What the fuck is that?
So, I mean, they get the teleport out from Knight as well. Are they still fishing for a fight?
On's looking for
Oh, On's went in there.
Tarzan shadowing strike onto Shanks as well. There's the
Okay, here comes Sion. Ah.
Oh. Despite continue, Realm walk forward, base
Oh.
flashes away, but it's cold.
Oh.
Where he stands, he's the bullets from
Oh wait, they're still going in.
Flashes in, and Elk is put in prison. 2 more
All right,
kills
GG.
for anyone's legend.
AL crushed them in the fight here.
Damn, dude, AL.
But then
Why
decides,
so
you know what?
good?
I will give you that fight. I will re-engage here. Tarzan goes in, you know, throws down the ult, has to flash out. I think he's trying to buy time for his team to arrive. But when the lights get turned out, his team cannot TP in. So they say, okay, we're going to back out. We're going to see if we can still fish for some sort of a fight. Because I have this Sundered Sky. Tarzan incredibly strong. Goes for the re-engage here. The Shattering Strike does not connect onto Tarzan. It does onto Shanks. But no one can follow up. You hear the Sion ulti coming through.
Damn, dude. Dude, you see that? I don't know, dude. They're so good.
AL are already running
Dude, is this just like 3 games?
I just can't believe Tarzan goes over the wall, ultis,
Nice.
like the cloak. My job here is done.
The perfect engage. Did you see the fight, Benny?
Dude, I love Top 8, man, dude. That guy, nice.
11 minutes in, and they find themselves with a 2.4k gold lead. Hope dishing out some serious damage.
You see the advantage that comes from Hope getting that early kill, getting ahead on the bottom side of the map. Already has the Essence Reaver and
Damn, man. Dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, this game just feels so over. Like, I don't know how else they're gonna catch up. Yeah, dude. Ezreal.
These inventories are looking.
I mean, even if Ezreal gets Triforce, I feel like he's still gonna be so weak.
Such a strong point of the game. He's gonna have that second item here relative
compared to Hope.
2.5k. And having that gold so isolated on your jungle, on your AD carry, is going to be really, really tough to deal with. And Flandre quietly has just been a brick wall. You know, Bin, yes, he's going to get the push. Yes, he's going to have some advantage in that early stage. But we already have first item done for Flandre. He is going to be shrugging off so much of that. And Sion, we know, has incredible wave clear, is really stalwart in these side lanes. So he just needs to keep doing what he's doing.
AL will just continue to farm for now. Kind of these plates would be lovely to grab from both sides, but I think it's a difficult play to contest. With these neutrals still about 2 minutes away.
Like, I think what BLG could do,
happy to just farm as much as he can.
I don't know,
Shanks
like,
play safe on the
we
top
can't
side
even
of the map.
catch
He has
out of
no flash
position.
available, and when we kind of look at that vision around the top side, he is playing on the weak side of the map. Yeah, good
Yeah,
respect
oh
from
my
Shanks,
god,
but
that's a
still
lot of
Shanks
damage.
Takes a chunk of damage. And now he's
Yeah,
in
the thing is,
realistic
Rise
time.
also
Good
needs
vision
time to
coverage
scale,
for
but
AL to track where Beishuan is
he's in such a good position that
been
he's like,
spotted.
fine.
He's going to make that threat of a dive, and now AL looking to contest this Scuttle Crab, helping Tarzan out.
Open Kyle
Is
the first
On
time
gonna get
across.
killed?
Tarzan takes a Mystic shot. It would be a 4v3 right now, but obviously the Realm Warp from Shanks can allow him to join the fight pretty sharpish. True shot barrage out. Tarzan lands the smite. The winter smite on base one. AL were looking for a bit more of a fight, but with Bin coming up, they immediately realize they don't want to take an undermanned battle.
Now
Yeah.
for AL, no one's answering Flandre in bot lane, so now you don't want to fight whatsoever. You just back off. You know, make sure that BLG can't.
I'm surprised they didn't engage, trying to force the TP out of
worried
Sion.
about a potential fight breaking out. He's actually going to TP up towards top, and they are going to bring back Shanks.
And Shanks teleporting top. I think Flandre is finishing his recall, but there's
Oh, this is bad. Sion, choo-choo! Okay, they get Hope at least. Okay, 80 games for support tree, that's not bad.
Nice collapse from BLG, trading Hope for on as they get a much needed pickup onto the AD carry of AL. He was isolated.
Okay, Rise has Rod.
That Braum defense was unavailable.
It'll be
for
done
the
around
AD
23.5
meant
minutes.
that BLG were able to get a pick. They'll close the goal gap ever so slightly, but still a 2-game gold lead for AL for now.
Yeah, it is a good pick, but they still do give up a fair bit for it. You know, you lose that kill back. You had to drop the wave bot side that Flandre had pushed in first, and Flandre was able to respond to that quite quickly. Shanks did TP out towards top, constantly shoving that wave. This is more the AL that I was kind of expecting coming to this series. You know, being the ones that get the edge on the map, that are the ones denying minions, pushing in constantly, and really forcing difficult decisions here from BLG, who is kind of more this bloodthirsty team. They are, I think, more that stereotypical LPL team where they are going to play the team fights incredibly well. They're going to show up to the objectives, and they are going to challenge you each and every time. AL is incredible in the 5v5, but they can also just beat you on the map, which I think makes them a much more dynamic and difficult opponent.
And a lot of that comes down to how well they control vision. Like Kyle and Tarzan, the best support jungle duo in the LPL, arguably the best in the world.
I mean, I don't know what they could do to draft that will make them win.
Getting some deep vision in, clearing out the vision.
I think this is so doomed.
It never really feels like one of them is isolated from support.
Both objectives on the map right now, both the Herald and the Dragon. And with the map state as it is, both junglers pathing towards the bot side of the map. The continued fight over that mid-wave control as the control ward is now the battle. Kyle will push on off. And now, oh, a nice trade from Bin ahead of the Dragon contest. He doesn't have his TP available, does have the ultimate. Shanks has already rotated down. Knight is going to quickly go back to base, buy an upgrade, and has the TP ready to fight. Baseron with his ultimate is primed and ready to go.
Knight can teleport into the pit. Instead, he decides mid lane. Paranoia out. Tarzan gets the smite. Where are we going with the Paranoia immediately?
Wait, they're going on to Sion?
The Beer's going to come out as well, but the Unstoppable Onslaught will block that CC. Flandre running for the hit.
Oh my god.
Trying to chase through.
Oh, base one. Oh.
As does Bin, and they will bell at the Sion towards.
Wait, they can fight this. Why are they fighting this? Oh, huge on ult. Never mind, I lied. I'm stupid. I'm dumb.
Yeah, BLG there.
I thought they were gonna fight that.
As Hope was nowhere near the fight, I'm not sure why Tarzan decided to go for the re-engage. They could have just given up Flandre and played for the wave mid, which was exactly what Hope was trying to do. But his team goes for the re-engage. Hope is moving over, but never even gets close to the fight. And BLG coming up with a massive win there, bringing them back to within striking distance.
Potentially a fatal mistake by AL. I felt that BLG was going super deep just to get a single kill onto the Sion because there wasn't really much that they were going to convert off the back of it. But the moment that Tarzan said, you know what, I think we can win this fight, that's where things fell apart. The goal difference now really not that much. Hope still holding on to the difference between the two teams. The Herald's going to be started off. Tarzan's not in a position
Yeah,
to contest.
I
Shanks
guess
is too far away.
without
His TP is
Hope,
unavailable,
the gold
so
gap
BLG
is not
will
that
get
big.
themselves another objective.
It's because Hope is so mega fed.
Just like that.
So yeah, fighting without him was a bad idea. That's my bad.
There's still a disparity between Hope and Elk, but we see Baseron chasing here. It did seem deep onto the Sion.
Yeah, I mean, the heal will come through from Kyle to escort Flandre.
But yeah, look, Hope is already leaving.
Kind of cutting off that
He's not even, he's going to mid lane to
They
farm.
get that initial pick, and at this point, AL thinks, actually, maybe we can turn this around.
But look at the minimap. Look at where your Lucian is. Your Lucian is on mid-wave right now as they're going for this re-engage. You don't really have enough damage there. Your top laner is already down. Shanks tries to get what he can done. But without the Lucian, who is the strongest member on the team, it's going to be a very difficult fight to take, and an ill-advised one to be sure.
Still 1,000 gold lead for anyone's legend. They are still scaling into this game as well. 2 items on the Lucian. Shanks has finished the Rod of Ages on his way towards his Archangels. They're looking to try and crack the first tier 1 of the game. Been now surpassing Gala for the 7th most all-time international kills at 503. There's the dive in with the paranoia, and Shanks has to walk over a flaming carpet. Can't escape. Bin will take the kill. Beishwan can look for a little bit more here. Hope not moving from the mid lane. Tarzan should be able to flag and drag his way to safety. KMTlol might just be able to walk out.
Flandre just ulted topside, so they're scrapping up there as well.
Knight forced low by Flandre, but can just jump across the veil and get to safety.
Nocturne is so good at catching isolated targets, especially a Ryze that has no flash available. Just the moment that ulti is off cooldown. Oh, ulti comes through.
Glacial Fisher onto on. Magnus coming out, but the shield from the crash down won't be enough to
Yeah,
keep
like,
him alive.
dude, Hope is still alive.
The flames
Oh, look at the damage by Hope. Oh, they get Elk as well. Holy fuck, quadra kill.
As Hope claims the quadra.
Fighting with Hope, quadra kill. Fighting with that Hope, he get fucking aced.
Finally finds his moment there as BLG
That's crazy,
just go that
dude.
hair too far.
Damn.
TP's in. Kyle tags him with the Winter's Bite, and Hope punishes massively.
And if this is not quintessential AL versus BLG,
Oh.
I do not know if we'll get a better example of how these teams face off.
Really good punish from KMTlol onto On as he's isolated in the mid lane. But when the TP comes through, BLG is saying, you know what, we do so much damage here, let's go for it. But the Braum passive, again, in conjunction with the Lucian, makes it so easy for Hope to tear them apart. Nice follow through from Tarzan, sets up for the quadra for Hope.
And that EQ flash, so clean from Tarzan because he goes through for the EQ.
Nice.
Flashes then after the first
Dude,
knockout
Aurora,
to get
yeah,
the
but
next
if
one
he
on
gets
the L.
there.
Like, that is just picture perfect. This guy's mechanics are out of this world, and Hope, that culling just destroyed them. As soon as you see the Braum passive proc, he gets the stun, full culling to the face. No shot for Bin there.
And 2 minutes ago we were saying, oh, BLG are back in the game. It's only 1,000 gold between these two teams. The Dragons are even, and now a 3.5K lead for anyone's legend. All of that sitting on Hope.
I mean, you just look at, I keep going back to it, but look at the inventories for the AD carries. It is just so brutal. You're not even close to your second item, and the second item is a cheap one. Then you're looking over here, and it's just...
Oh, I got an MSI shirt.
That also means feats have gone over the way of AL.
It's pretty
They were
nice.
able to grab towers off the back of that did claim the upgraded boots for them. So they are looking really strong at this point. You know, you have Shanks on his Archangels fully completed. Now he's going to be a lot harder to burst down as well. And this is kind of the part of the game where I was getting very concerned for BLG's comp, even if they were on more even keel.
So you highlighted the bad news for BLG. The good news is there's only one carry that has all the gold. So if they're able to catch Hope,
You are nice. Ugh, shut up, bitch.
BLG. It ultimately will come
Dude,
down to
my
Beishwan's
attitude's gonna change when Asia Masters starts up again on Sunday.
Coming out as well. Beishwan should just be able to walk away.
Dude, after MSI Finals, we go straight in. Not straight, but we're gonna go into Asia Masters.
BLG will walk away after taking that bot tier 1.
And nice play around vision there for Tarzan. Controlling the banana is so important when you are trying
so
to
tough.
this dragon. And Night walks by.
But I think my voice will be, hopefully it'll be fixed by then. If not, I gotta go to a clinic.
Goes in, gets that chunks down.
Get more medicine or something.
But Knight's ultimate is much more important in the actual fight. So they're just going to continue to force.
Anyone's legend could look for the Otacon. There's no paranoia up. There's no between worlds. And they're going to start it up. Bin there. Does have the equalizer. Obviously, Atacon reducing your magic resist and your armor, the more damage you take from it. Knight has teleport. He's going back to base right now, looking for that second completed item. On stepping forward, has the flash, has the magnet storm. AL still on the Atacon.
There's the throw, the Otacon throw.
Snuffed out. AL now trying to fight a 4v5. BLG can look for more.
Never mind. Run.
Will walk away with the Otacon, but will BLG allow them to escape? Hope the first target is BLG. Looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, and that means killing off Hope. The heal will get him to safety, and BLG won't be able to find much more.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, still great there for AL. Yes, they do lose one, but Flandre by so much time,
It's pretty. It's worth.
Creates that space with the zombie form. And as a result, his team does get the Otacon. They're trying to stop the bases, though. This is well done by BLG. They don't want to allow them to reset.
The calling out into the Cataclysm Magnustorm out by On, but now Knight's tanking up the towers.
Oh!
That's not where he wants to be.
Knight.
Pounces BLG agree.
What the
BLG
fuck?
once again in this game overstep. we've seen that aggression work wonders for them, but we've also seen them get punished. And once again, in an effort to interrupt AL's return
I
to
don't
the
know,
base,
dude.
they are punished
They're
once
desperate.
more.
They're hella
They'll even
desperate.
get a tower off the back of it. AL taking full control here in game 2.
I definitely understand the thought process from BLG because I think they feel that they're falling out of this game and they're saying, all right, we had Hope low, we got Summoners out. Let's not allow them to base. Let's not allow them to spend this gold.
I have no idea what BLG are doing, dude.
But Tarzan, his ult
They're
was
just so
perfect.
outclassed.
Knight was trying to hold his spells for Hope, but Hope was just playing on the exact edge of his range.
Like, I don't know why they're trying to go for more.
Well, you can't just sit there and use no spells forever. The rest of the team is going to knock you down. So Knight gets isolated, does get knocked down here, and there is the Infinity Edge done now.
I get knocked down, but I get up.
Full Infinity Edge is the advantage for Hope. Not bad.
Yeah, this is a big chunk of change that Hope is ahead right now. 3,000 gold his lead, and 3.5k the lead for AL. Next objective, well, Baron's going to spawn in a minute. I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
AL will
Lucian has
that
3.
much by going for it, but they are on 2 dragons. You can see how far Hope is ahead of everyone else in the
Okay,
game.
well,
H1
maybe
having a good
finally
time as a
BLG are
jungler.
hitting some power spike, but I feel like it's too little, too late.
2,000 behind where Hope currently sits.
This mid lane tower being alive also makes it really hard for Beishwan to even threaten a pick onto Hope, because ideally you want long lanes to play through, because Nocturne Ultimate has such a long range. The more space you have to try and leverage that, and the less safety that Hope will have, makes it easier to find that pick. But as long as
Yeah, I don't know if
tower
Nocturne's
and
done
Kyle
much
is
this
standing by
game.
his side,
It kind of feels like a terrible ass
safe.
pick.
So AL is playing with full confidence. They've got good vision coverage. They unlikely will force the Baron. It's very risky to do against an Aurora Rumble. You could just throw the entire game, but they don't necessarily need to overforce. They've got the Dragon spawning in a minute and a half, and they know they're stronger, so I'm sure they'll look to try and fight in the near future.
And I mean, Ocean Soul for this front line that AL has, how are you ever killing the Scion at that point? How are you ever killing the Braum at that point? And I do think these next items coming through are going to be the difficulties that BLG are going to have to deal with. You can see the Verdant barrier is now in there for Shanks, and I do think we are going to get a defensive item as the 4th for Hope, whether it is, you know, a BT or a GA or something like that. Once those items come through, now all of a sudden, even if you get that perfect engage, maybe you have to kill them twice.
It just becomes so much trickier for BLG. Decimating Smash coming out, but no one's going to step into the path of Flandre's axe as he was looking to bring down some trees. Elka Knight trying to get a little bit of control over this.
I'm just waiting for the next
For BLG, there's always
pick.
the question is, like, if AL are slightly mispositioned on the map, do you rush the Baron? Is that your way back into the game? Pull them into a fight, use the equalizer, use the paranoia, use your AoE to make it tricky for AL to really approach. On 2 levels down on Kyle on this rel. Knight forced behind him.
Okay.
Tarzan jumps forward. Knight able to go across the veil and escape. On with
Oh,
the flash shadow.
on.
Dash away immediately.
I feel like he's forcing it too hard.
To reign in this game.
I mean, dude, they're so fucked anyways. I don't know, dude. Dude, some of these on engages feel so bad.
They're going for the Baron here. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin.
And now BLG, perhaps this is the moment. You've got no equalizer. You have the between worlds from Knight. No paranoia as AL still stick on the Baron. Flandre on the fly, taken down. The Baron jumped off by AL as they look for more of a fight. They'll kill off Beishwan, and now with the jungler dead, they'll turn their eyes back to the big purple worm.
Flandre gives up his life, but he keeps the 2 remaining members of BLG away from the pit. And
Yeah, that's some gang type shit.
It's going to be secured. A desperate TP.
It's been trying to look for a flank position here. No equalizer for him. No
What?
smite as well. Obviously, he's just a Rumble, and now he's spotted. And the Rumble in the jungle doesn't survive for long. AL will gun him down.
What the fuck?
AL get themselves
Wait, what the fuck did I just watch?
And you can feel the desperation from
Oh my
BLG.
god, whatever. I don't know, dude did lost his mind.
The idea felt really good.
He just wants to go
On
next.
So many fast, difficult to
Maybe he has a
react
dinner
snap
reservation.
engages on this rel. But Hope reacts. Hope is locked in and on point. And the follow-up, the Rumble ultimate was there, but we didn't see the Nocturne ultimate. We didn't see the Aurora ultimate. And it's the fact that he was able to react so quickly, and he didn't even have to use a summoner spell to do it.
Exactly. The fact that he reacted that quickly also meant most of the equalizer just missed. It's answered by the lock, and it's answered by the heal from Gael. They didn't really get much done with that, and now it is Baron, his 6.6k gold lead. It is Ocean Soul point, and it is AL on the precipice of pushing us to a match point.
And getting
Yeah, it's called FF. It's soft hinting.
On Hope, you talked about a bit of defense for him. It's just going to make it so much harder for BLG. They're looking with the paranoia. H1 waiting around the Wolf camp, but On is caught down towards the bottom side, and On is suffocated out of the game. BLG thought mid lane was the prio, but AL had other ideas.
AL will continue their siege on the bot lane. They don't have much of a minion wave to play with. The Rumble ultimate and the Ezreal ultimate going to be used to clear out the wave. This will slow AL down, but it will not stop them.
Shanks is a Gatling gun of destruction right now. Being forced away with the overload. There's the Realm Warp to follow up. And Hope will kill his enemy man. It's hunting season, and Elk is on the menu. BLG lose 2 more, as now they have to defend. On back up, but AL are pushing in for the win.
And Hope is just destroying them this game. 13-1-3, legendary Lucian.
Where's the Odor? Dude, I think he's crying in his night body pillow.
Kai out there with the Unbreakable and still hitting onto Knight with the Winter's Bite. Decimating smash under the tower. BLG try as they might, they just can't withstand.
Knight's playing for KVA. So cringe.
Now sitting on match points.
A beautiful game from Hope. From the double kill right at
Yeah,
the start.
dude, this looks pretty
Only a single
rough.
death to his name with good positioning and great play. AL lead the series 2-0, and now all the pressure is on BLG.
And for them, they're wondering, is it just a continuation of the story that's been told twice already in the LPL playoffs? Is it 3-2, 3-1, now at MSI 3-0? Is it time for anyone's legend to take over the torch of representing the LPL here on the international stage?
It is looking that way, but if there's a moment to step up, it is right now. And BLG have some incredible players who are capable of turning things around in this series. But you're gonna need to see peak Bin. You're gonna need to see peak Knight.
We're going to hand it over to Shox, who's standing by with Tabe.
I am indeed. Tabe, spectacular performance so far. Are you happy with your guys, and what was the specific strategy to get this game win?
Of course, I'm happy because we won 2 games, right? But I want to thank of the draft because I guess the Lucian Braum really countered to Nocturne and Aurora.
Civil contracts expiring?
Yeah.
What?
Their serious
No, they're not.
Were really countered by Braum. Yeah.
Overall, what do you think the biggest threat on BLG is? Of course, you also won in the LPL finals, but is there anything different that you're looking out for?
They are really familiar with their free lanes early game pressure, but I think if we can defend their early game pressure, we will win the game easily.
3-0?
If we want to 3-0, I have to work hard on the draft.
I'll let you go. I get the hint. Thank you, Tabe.
Thank you so much, Shox. Always amazing to
Oh,
hear
Wendy.
from Tabe. And we have a special guest joining us at the desk, Candice, LPL host. Thank you
Candice.
so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
My bad.
Oh, okay, so what did you think about the series so far? 2-0 for AL. Did you expect that?
Actually, I didn't expect that fast 2-0
Uh-huh.
for AL, but I think they might find some way to fight back for the BLG.
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break.
Maybe 3 series.
Hopefully,
Oh.
hopefully they can bring it to
I'm gonna go get
series,
some
but
water.
Tabe, once again, master at drafting. He really is in BLG's head right now. The players are in their heads on the riff, but it comes from the drafting phase, I feel.
Yeah, and the things that really worked out for this draft, he already pointed it out.
Yeah.
The Lucian Braum, from that early play where they really underestimated the Braum in that bot lane 3v3, that set Hope on a path to success super early.
It's really twofold, because on one end, I think that AL's playing very nicely to the win condition, like that play that On tried to find Hope in the mid lane, to me was one of the best examples. Tarzan's turn in the mid lane earlier on, all of that was great. I also think BLG is just running headfirst into very obvious traps.
Let's check out, actually, we see Tarzan here, and you were just talking about it, Chronicler in our HyperX Reflex replay. BLG goes head first, and AL fights back in a very on type of gameplay and replay here, Emily. Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is also the difference maker in AL versus BLG, I think, is the synergy between Tarzan and Kyle in a lot of these team fights. I actually wanted to ask you, Candice, about these two working together on Anyone's Legend and what they've brought to the team as we kind of see them setting up for Hope to just pop off.
I think I should mention the Tarzan's interview before because he mentioned that we spent a lot of time and getting in the synergy and everyone putting so much effort and we know our role clearly. So that's why they put so much effort and they gain from that. And also we should like watch the documentary if after this game, the AL, the Breaking Ground, they put so much effort. They ranked till the like morning, every day.
Yeah, I mean, Tabe was after LPL finals talking about the discipline, the work, everything that this team had put to get in the position they're in today. It is match point, Chronicler. I want you to, show us your prediction because you were really confident in the 3-2 for BLG.
Yes.
The crowd was booing you. I kind of understand what they were onto right now.
I'm still confident.
Are you?
No, but I gotta sell this, right? I'm no Res. I'm not flip-flopping. As long as On can just chill a little bit, okay? We're getting deeper into Fearless, which I don't really see how that benefits BLG, but I believe in the magic. And you know what? I think AL, they're gonna have at least one game for fun, can snowball from there. They did it in the finals, they can do it again.
They can do it again, hopefully, and bring us a series. Candice, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on the desk. Let's hope that BLG can turn this around and bring us a series here in Game 3.
Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets. Cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here, ain't stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way, pay your way.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall at night?
Play the local way, pay your way.
Dominate the Rift with Opera GX. Bring League to your browser. Lock in with LoL Esports. Customize your setup with champion-inspired themes.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
New designs inspired
Let's see,
by
what's
art.
this?
Only
Oh.
on the browser for legends. Download Opera GX.
No. I think Jinja's not this year, it's 2026. I think it's only top and mid, but... But we'll see what happens. Ugh. Yeah, I guess this is gonna be a quick 3-0. Oh, that's good. It'll give me time to rest my voice. It's getting better.
So I could fly, had to fail, so I could rise, had to break to feel alive. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive.
Oh, shit. Ugh. Yeah, I have to upload a bunch of videos. I've been slacking, dude. I've just been lazy, sleeping.
Shanks is a Gatling gun of destruction right now. Being forced away with the overload. There's the Realm Orb to follow up. And Hope will kill his enemy man. It's hunting season. And Elk is on the menu. BLG lose 2 more. As now they have to defend on back up. But AL are pushing in for the win.
And Hope is just destroying them this game. 13-1-3. Legendary Lucian performance.
BLG will try and defend. Knight forced away. Kai out there with the Unbreakable and still hitting onto Knight with the Winter's Bite. Decimating smash under the tower. BLG try as they might, they just can't withstand the storm that's anyone's legend. Now sitting on match points.
And
Tabe behind the scenes.
Short, concise, to the point.
Nicer. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Playing against this former team, very happy with how AL are doing right now, as I'm sure a lot of their fans are, because although game 1 was close, game 2 was not. Hope absolutely took over the match.
And I think that AL, I mean, there were naturally some question marks around them coming into the tournament. A bit of an unknown quantity. We heard Emily talking about on the desk where a lot of these players do kind of have a chip on their shoulder and that they were kind of replaced by other players. They've been on a bunch of different teams throughout their history. And I think that coming to this tournament, they wanted to prove to themselves and also prove to the world what they were capable of. First, they pushed Gen G to 5 games, and now I think putting a clear statement as by far and away the best LPL team would be quite the statement to make heading towards a matchup against T1.
Exactly. And then that T1 series will be so exciting. I mean, AL, I think maybe on paper, people could potentially be favoring them, but T1 has so much history of being the LPL killers that that would be incredible.
Okay.
We, of course, have to see, though, if BLG can turn things around here.
Oh.
It's reverse
Let's
sweep
see the
or
draft,
go home
baby.
for BLG at this point. We need to have someone really step up, I think, and take over this series to get them some momentum early. It can be so hard when you're up against it in a series like this. If things don't go your way at the start of this next game, I could easily see it being a blowout.
Yeah, you're really looking at Knight or at Bin. Those are the two players that so often stand up for BLG and really put their carry pants on. For AL, just keep doing what you're doing. They bang out the Pantheon, the Ambessa, Jace, Galio, and Shin taken away by BLG. I'm looking at the Varus, which has worked its way through drafts so far. Kalista as well, if you really want to mess things up with a pack one, pick one here. Last ban coming out from AL. Where are we going to go?
Looking at what we have available, like things like Skarner maybe if you're worried about the jungle matchup. We've still got Annie, Ari available,
Vi.
Silas and Yone. Silas for Knight is always something you could be scared of.
They give up
the Poppy
Vi.
means that Vi goes to the top of the table in terms of early jungle rotations, but perhaps that's what AL want.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that they're trying to lay a trap, but with Poppy banned out, I feel like slam it down. Let's see the Ari for Knight here. Go for the Vi-Ari combo. It is so powerful. Knight has been so well known for the champion for a long time. Is truly stellar on it. But it does look like they're considering it.
Yeah, so that was the idea. You leave the Vi open, then you can get the Varus for yourselves. We know how much AL value the pick, but BLG, they're not going to allow it to happen. Now, I do wonder if AL will just take the Vi for themselves, well, they're going to insta-lock the Gwen and the Vi. So not only will they deny the Gwen away from Bin, a champion that he is very feared on, they're also going to lock in that Vi. And I wonder if Shanks will go for the Ari himself. This could be an opportunity for BLG to just blind the Annie to dissuade Shanks from going in that direction.
It is true. I mean, there is something that you can be said for that, but also, I mean, Syndra, I think, good answer into it. You know, Knight, very, very good on it.
As well.
Silas, Annie, I think there's a lot of options here up and available if Shanks were to just kind of slam that down. We'll have to see where BLG want to take it, but thus far I do feel like AL had a really good read on the priorities for BLG because, you know, I thought it was going to be a Vi going over, but the fact that they were actually able to predict it was going to be the Varus going over, they pre-banned the Poppy, they get the Vi, they're the ones that are going to be kind of on the front foot here. And Flandra on his Gwen, very, very comfortable on this pick. It is
Dude, I don't know if I like this draft by BLG.
These days, it is one of those.
Isn't AL's draft like way better?
Threat, but it's also really strong in team fights if you can pilot at that high level. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's Fiora for Bin. We saw this all the way back when he was on Suning in the World Finals, got a pentakill.
The pentakill.
In that game too.
Oh my goodness.
And it's Sivir for Hope.
A Fiora. I mean, so we're in a team fight meta, and that's often why whenever the topic of Fiora comes up, it's like, well, she's not necessarily the best team fighter. She's a duelist. She's someone who thrives in the side lane. She wants to split push. She wants to fight isolated away from everyone else. And into the Gwen matchup, it can be a great matchup. But in Bin's hands, I mean, he's famous for this pick.
He absolutely is.
Alex, you ain't looking good today.
2023 MSI. So
I never look good.
Years since he has actually brought this out. And we have got to see if he can be that difference maker in a game like this. And I'm so curious to see, you know, is it going to be Ignite TP? Is he going to go hyper aggressive into this Gwen? Will it be the more conservative approach of the Black Cellboard?
I mean, when your back's against the wall, I feel like just having confidence in yourself to pick champions like this is a must. If you're
Dude, I don't know what they're going to ban. They're banning
And I love this
Victor.
pick. Victor going to be removed on the side of AL alongside the Alistair, the Casio, targeted towards Shanks. Looks like that
I wonder
mid
if
is going
blind
to
mid or
continue to
just
be
wait for
pinched. They want to
counter.
make sure that that mobility is available on the side of BLG.
Yeah, very interesting to see. No Ari banned out yet. Of course, BLG still could ban it here. if
Is
they are
Rakan
concerned
ban me?
about that
Or
by
they'll
Ari
pick
combo.
Rakan
This really feels like a BLG
for
silence
AL.
to me. Knight is so proficient at the pick, removing some of those very difficult matchups in particular.
And Knight not having lost a game on that side of this split, 8-0 on the champion. Victor banned away, Karma Cass removed by BLG. The Annie, a likely lock here for Shanks in that mid lane.
They're gonna blind
Makes
pick
a lot of sense with
mid.
the Victor ban here. You know, I do think Annie really struggles into champions that do outrange. And if your read is that Knight will want to go towards something like the Ari, that it is that ultimate comfort, well, then you're kind of pre-counter picking it. But still, I think you can look towards champions like even Orianna that can kind of accomplish a similar thing, that can have that additional range to poke and prod away at the Annie to try to shove that Annie
I feel like
in
Renata might be
and
pretty
really
OP.
make things difficult.
I like Renata into the amount of dives that AL have. When you've got Gwen and Varus.
Yeah, they have so
and
much
Varus
engage,
trying to
right?
Gain access onto the back
Renata's
line.
a really good counter engage.
Hasn't
Renata's
won a game.
ultimate.
Hasn't won a game at MSI, Renata.
She's alongside the
She's
Kalista.
alongside the
That
Kalista
does make
most of the time.
sense.
I'm
Oh.
not 100% sure if it's
0 and
every
7.
game that she has played alongside the Kalista, but maybe pairing it up with a new AD carry could work. Akali currently...
Oh, never mind. Renata's ever
I mean,
won.
talking about laying down a gauntlet, talking about fighting something you're comfortable on, and just trying to outhands your opponent. to a
Don't pick
sim-
TF.
Ooh.
Now where BLG are looking, the most banned champion at this tournament.
But another pick that has struggled here, and I do think it can work. It is heavily based on the execution. If there were a
There it
time for it,
is.
alongside the Fiora.
Yeah, so I was
But
like,
he's having a laugh. He knows.
oh,
he's
wait,
playing
no,
everyone.
what?
And he's gonna slam the Akali down into
All
the
right.
face of the Annie here.
That does
Is
surprise
bold.
me. That really does surprise me. I mean,
That's a flex, man.
it can be a good matchup, especially if you like come out of the laning phase even. Once you've got that level 6 on a side lane, you definitely have some kill threats onto the Annie. But the laning phase can be rough. I personally would have preferred the Silas, but I guess into the Sivir, he was a little bit more cautious about the Blitzcrank being hovered, and it's going to be locked in.
Oh my god, what a game.
wow.
Just like we all predicted, Fiora versus
Okay.
Blitzcrank, you know, in game 3, of course.
Match
Very
point,
standard
BLG
stuff
down 3
here.
games. We need Fiora Akali. That is what we need.
That's a banger. I mean, if you're gonna go out with a bang,
Exactly,
man.
we were
You know,
just saying this.
These are some of the champions, you know, I think Knight really can be a difference maker. Bin really can be a difference maker. They have so much agency, you know, as these champions to make individual outplays, and I think that is heavily what you are relying on. I also do honestly really like the Renata here into what we are seeing. It is relatively short range. It is obviously showcasing
I
the
think
dive, so you're
AL's
not gonna
comp
be
is
worried about
so
the possible
strong.
takeover because of that spell shield. But
But we'll
Annie,
see.
Vi, Gwen, Blitzcrank, all going to be kind of trying to pile in
Maybe-
there,
maybe
catch out this Varus.
BLG can
And
pull out a
Rock on
miracle.
Renata is built to defend that dive. You know, yes, you have the Vi, you have the Annie ult.
Yeah,
You're trying
dude, he's
to
a big
one-shot
league
someone.
fan.
If bailout comes through, if hostile takeover is there, if the fight gets turned around, it could really change things in a team fight.
I love seeing the smiles on the BLG faces. They're still filled with confidence. They still believe that they can turn this series around. A roster of experienced players at this point. Beishran being the only new one to make his way onto the international stage. They have to believe in themselves. With champions like this, I mean, there isn't more evidence than that. We'll see if they can turn this series around. We're about to jump into game 3. AL, though, on the precipice of looking to dominate their brothers from the LPL.
And obviously a lot of focus will be on BLG's pick. And the Fiora for Bin, the Akali for Knight, played it 5 times this split, has only
Get
lost
hype.
once. But then you go to the other side of the rift and you look at this Gwen for Flandre, 7-3 on it this split, 17-7 on it all time. The Sivir for Hope, a callback as well to
This
when
might be the last
he was
game
able to
of the day,
become
dude.
his first ever
We'll see, we'll
championship,
see.
playing that Sivir and that Zeri. We're going to hear from I Will Dominate, who people have been watching for 10 years, apparently. Shocks, take it away.
It's true, Dom. You have fans here that have been watching you for 10 years.
Yes, I'm really old, Chucks. I am really old, so.
That's not what I meant. Is this Fiora pick making you older?
No, I think it's going to be making me younger. It's saving us time. We might be out of here with a 3-0.
Someone told me you're a BLG Andy, though.
Yeah? Well, I've been a BLG Andy, but the thing about me is like sometimes I have to betray like my friends. Same way that you just did, where you went on the broadcast, you said, "Oh, no one's a fan of Dom in the whole arena." So you
heard that?
No, I didn't. The hearing is going with the age as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do you a solid. Medic and I jumped on KMTlol's stream and we spilled coffee all over our setup.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you do that, and then you looked over to me and you said, "Oops," and then you just knocked it on the floor. So I appreciate it. It didn't ruin the entire setup, but it was a bro move. I like that.
AL 3-0, and if not, why not?
I think it's AL 3-0. I think it's just Tabe diff. He's too good.
Okay, Tabe diff. Thank you, Dom.
Oh, coming in.
Damn. AL 3-0 Tari Def.
With the barrier early here.
I don't know. I think we'll see a lot of Odor tomorrow.
Those ricochets continue just to chip away at On and L.
If Odor is like,
It's good that
yeah, he was on
Sharks
earlier.
Setup, but just don't ask her what she spilled over at Dom's. You notice she kept that under wraps in the interview.
Paid Dom off just to not mention it for the rest of the stream.
Now, when we think about early prio, you'll notice that Hope and Kyle already have the push. Kyle,
I mean, he's a T1 hater, right? So if T1 beats AL, he's gonna lose his mind.
I'm a little bit worried for this BLG bot lane. There's the hook.
Oh!
To flash.
Yep, that's why
Damn! Oh, what the fuck?
Just dead base one with a great gank. 3 camps into gank gets Knight ahead.
That is a super big play in the mid lane.
That is massive, being able to actually get that kill there. Great start now for Knight. Yes, they lose flash on bot side, but getting Knight on this Akali ahead could pay dividends.
Certainly could. I mean, Akali, her weakest phase is in the early phase, and getting those early levels and just that extra bit of experience, that extra bit of gold can make such a massive difference in the 1v1 matchup. And on the top side, Bin is just dominating, already building up about a wave of an advantage in the 1v1.
I love this from Base One. It's something we saw from him in game 1 as well.
Crazy level 3 gank.
Setting up your laners really well. Get and then there's really nothing Shanks can do in this situation.
Yeah.
Just kind of the anti-timing there for Shanks. He had the level advantage on Knight, and he had
a flash
quite low, so he wanted to press the advantage there, not expecting.
Okay, here comes Tarzan.
Not to be outdone.
Bin has flash, has riposte, will lunge away. Needs to riposte the bot breaker and does so. Gets the stun, trades back onto Flandre. But with Kyle and Hope on their way, Bin needs to be a little bit more cautious.
Bin.
Still have the flash. Kyle has one of his own. Won't send out the hook.
Dances around it well. You can see the Ignite was even popped by Flandre. And the swap even came through, so AL doing everything in their power to try and put Bin behind, put that pressure onto the Fiora, but now he can just TP to the bot lane. He can continue in his 1v1 matchup, as the response from BLG will be sending their bot lane to top as well.
Yeah, notice that Flandre's not going to TP to match, so he's going to hold on to his teleport here, and there's the hook. Oh, that would have been a kill. He has no flash, and Tarzan was there, but just can't quite find it. I think he might even be losing a plate, though, down bot because he held onto the TP. So, yes, you have that teleport advantage, but now you have to get something on top side. Otherwise, you've just gifted Bin an even larger lead.
Yeah. Bin Fiora, holy shit.
It's about 300 gold ahead right now.
You're right.
I wonder who's better, Fiora, Bin or YSKM?
Flandre on this Gwen, obviously.
He missed cannon.
I'm not sure how often he's had to play the Fiora-Gwen matchup.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about
cannon, dude.
His journey, because I do think it's been truly incredible to see what he has been able to do.
Knight's going in there. Oh, Knight flashes! Oh, Knight fucked up! Oh! Knight fucked up!
And it's just like he said, to succeed, you have to first fail. He gets killed by the gank. He gets the solo bolo as Knight goes too far. Look at this timeline, though. The struggles that he had from a 0-16 roster, a 4-12 roster, all the way here.
Damn.
Solo kill. On match.
Bro outplayed himself, dude.
To push yourself to top 3 at MSI.
Dude, Bejon gave him a lead, he just threw it away.
When they were in the depths of those challenges.
It's just such a contrast where Knight came in and very early on in his career he was finding success, as opposed to Shanks, who has had to work so hard for so long to reach this pinnacle. It is incredibly meaningful to get the better of Knight as well, just like he did in the finals, and getting that solo kill just closes that goal gap between the two mid laners in the matchup as well. Knight will now take over to level 6.
Silver level plays.
Look at Shanks, he's here.
He hits a minion. Shanks' roam from the base there towards that top lane, had the Tibbers.
Flash for me.
Yeah, I kind of felt like Kyle waited too long to actually go for the play there. You know, Shanks made the roam. He's going to be losing CS mid lane, and I think, again, they're going to be dropping a plate very likely because Knight had quite a bit of alone time in the mid lane.
BLG's,
So we'll see
I mean, Ben's level 6, dude. I'm just a level 5.
300 gold.
This is the play you want to go for?
Roam there from Shanks where, yeah, I just think
Yeah, I
waited
know.
way too long to actually look for that play.
Shanks definitely playing towards getting his spells out a little bit quicker with the Ionian Boots of Lucidity start here on the Annie, roaming around the map trying to find those ganks.
Look at the lead that Bin has built for himself. The pings were even coming down from BLG. They expected Tarzan to have stolen away the Krugs, given the investment that was spent on the top side. And he's still not afraid. He doesn't slow down with his aggression. He realizes even in the 2v1 with the damage that he's been able to do to Flandre, that he would be able to outplay in that situation. And so BLG, slowly but surely, even after the small blunder in mid lane, they've built themselves a 700 gold lead.
Yeah, BLG will be really happy with how this game's going, especially with Bin getting some free time. Similarly to game 1, he's got this early lead. Question is how effective he can be with it, because in game 1, obviously, AL did a really good job of making sure that Jax could never find flanks, could never find good team fights. Also shutting down on that Nico helped them out to great effect. Shanks here might be the target for BLG as Beishwan is waiting just around the corner.
Oh, he doesn't have his stun.
Cover his mid. Beishwan going in, has the impale. There's Tibbers down.
Oh!
Kyle will eat the suppression and might eat
Oh!
the impale too, but Knight is not targeting him at all. Stunned up by Shanks. Kyle.
Wait, they're not going to go on Blitzcrank?
There for Shanks.
Yeah, really well done by both Kyle and Shanks. Kyle
Then he gets exposed whenever he can't farm Western mids. Dude, that's crazy, dude.
Or if he does, he might have been able to kill Kyle, but he absolutely would have.
Damn, the Knight hate.
By the
Dude, no wonder Odo's not here, dude.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, I was expecting Knight to just fully ult and commit to that play. Flandre, now the target of a dive.
No impale for Beishwan, but no flash for Flandre. Does have the ignite, will dash across with skip and slash.
Okay.
Nico works on, will take him down, but the bailout
Oh!
back. Meanwhile, on the bot side, we see a great dive onto Ben. AL answer back with a kill of their own, and On didn't come back to life.
Yeah, well played there by Flandre, able to delay enough so that he's able to get that bailout to actually expire before he did go down. Really nicely done. But you have to look and see, Bin almost has his teleport back, so this TP that Flandre held onto, that he gave up a plate and a wave for, he hasn't gotten really much of anything for until now he's just going to TP back out towards top.
I do hope we'll get an opportunity to see the dive that happened in bot lane. Oh, 1 HP.
Calculated, not even close.
Not even close. Tarzan walks away with a stolen red buff as Beishwan secures the grub.
Kevin, what do you think of Chief Maple? Good. Yeah, you know what? That would actually win.
Phase was going, that things were just, oh, hang on a minute, Bin.
Bin jumping in onto Flandre here, puts down the grand challenge, and Beishwan's there to answer.
That would be the one way they can get better.
Surviving, Bin finds his vital and takes his kill.
So we're reaching a critical point in the matchup, and Bin, I think the value that Beishwan provided there was bringing Flandre back away from the
But I don't think it's Maple. Chief's Maple.
This is only going to get harder for Flandre. As you can see in the 1v1, this Fiora is really starting to become a problem.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's a little bit reminiscent to game number 1, you know, where again, you know, Bin got alone time down on the bot lane off of this earlier swap. This time it was matched, but not.
I think Chief is going to be worse to split.
A bit of an advantage, but he is potentially caught out.
Okay.
Has the flash, will flash and then bolts away, but the hook from Kyle finds his man, and now the chase continues. Hope opens up with the boomerang blades.
Damn.
The kill as well.
That was looking like an extendo arm there, but BLG trying to threaten the dive onto Flandre. No third member here.
Okay, get my honky.
Play to go for, especially because BLG just came back.
Good for me, right?
It's interesting how AL is just heavily committing into trying to keep Bin down. They recognize the situation they're in on the side lane, but they're investing ganks to try and
But it'd be really weird and awkward. Dude, they did like a crazy hoopla about Maple's retirement, and he just came back.
Grub's priority team, but they abandoned it in order to make sure they could make that effective dive onto Bin. He finds himself with a 1-2 scoreline, but still up 400 gold against Flandre.
Does have that gold lead, but in
wow.
trouble is Knight.
Knight has to try and jump away with the perfect execution and will manage to escape. Has that R2 now, but no real way to use it. Dashes back to the safety of his tower. Beishwan on an Elk here to try and protect. Ishtar's impact coming out. Good ultimate from Kyle to stop the channel.
Oh.
But the Impale cannot be stopped. Kyle pulled back and taken out by Elk.
dying so that his mid laner could live. As you highlighted, Medic, a really good use of the ultimate from the Blitzcrank to interrupt the charge from Beishuan. But then when the ulti came through from Elk, there was nothing that Shanks could do to help his support. He appreciates his sacrifice as BLG get themselves another pick.
You've got to give credit to Beishuan. He has been very active so far this game, involved in everything.
Wouldn't lethality Varus make more sense here than on-hit Varus?
The attack up towards the top side, helping Bin get a kill. Again here in the mid lane, multiple times putting on that pressure. I feel like he is playing a great game. Even though everyone, rightfully so, would be favoring Tarzan very heavily in this jungle matchup, I think Beishuan has been having a pretty good showing.
Yeah, his early game in this game has been absolutely phenomenal. Like in game 1 when he got ahead on the Trundle, got his team a couple of early kills. The problem is for BLG, often when they do get ahead in the early game, especially against AL, they chase a little bit too far, and when you're chasing into things like a Sivir, an Annie, a Gwen,
Both Maple and Yutavok can come out of retirement. And he's still be younger than Mission. Dude, that's crazy.
You can see how BLG can win if they can get in that battle.
Damn, Mission's that old?
But it's going to be really hard to pull off. Whereas I feel like what AL wants to do is very simple. You Sivir are your 4 kind of short-range people. They run in, and Sivir is just having that space created by the aggression from the rest of the team. Sivir just has to hit anything, basically, and ricochet through. So I feel like AL are set up for success.
Never know. Ult's kind of ass.
Impact onto Tarzan, trying to use the shield to survive the cease and desist.
Yeah, but nobody can follow up. Okay. He got caught out.
Third kill of the game, as Shanks will be able to secure the Scuttle Crab towards the top side. Beishuan still chasing, flashing forward, and Shanks back to the waiting arms of Knight. Shanks has to flash away, dodges the impale, but Knight's on the chase.
One more Q!
Knight has to flash the wall. The chase continues. Kyle here once again to defend his mid lane, exhaust Beishuan. Hope looking to open up.
No, man. Oh my god, he lived. Holy shit, I thought Shanks is gonna die.
Will smoke Beishuan.
Holy shit.
Bloodbath here in game 3. 13 minutes in, 5-5 in kills. And every single play that BLG make, AL is looking to respond. This time around, it was an example of BLG overextending just a little bit. They thought that they could chase down Shanks. The flash even committed by Beishuan, but Knight on the turnaround from Shanks almost lost his life.
Absolutely. AL going to get a lot here, though. No TPs there to actually answer that top wave push, so Hope is going to cash in.
I wish Yutapon would come back. I think he's actually just done with pro play.
Watch it one more time. This is just a great pick.
I think he's having too much fun as a streamer.
There is the CC layering immediately coming through from Beishuan. Tarzan tries his best to try to survive there, getting this under Sky proc on multiple members, using the passive. But then this chase, yes, there's the flash forward from Beishuan. It looks like it's going to be a kill onto Shanks, but Shanks is able to buy so much time.
The stun that comes through from Shanks' ultimate buys him time to escape. Here, though, Knight, I do think he just needed one more auto attack. And I guess he was worried about the cooldown of Shanks' Q that would have finished him off. Bin now supported by his team.
On the hunt coming out from
going on.
They look to turn onto Beishuan. He's caught up. The needle works out from.
Oh, hey, Beishuan's dead. Oh.
Too deep to flash away from On. A rocket grab about to find him as AL find another kill.
Feels like a story of the series. A step too far by Beishuan. He overextends and AL are quick to collapse. Both these teams are ready to skirmish. And this time around, it's AL.
Yeah, it just feels so over.
Tarzan having to flash the chain of corruption, turns it back around onto Elk, has that cease and desist and has his team collapsing.
Tarzan. Why didn't this blast come away?
Shanks comes in with the tibbers and will kill off Elk. On, able to retreat. Bin trying to get onto Shanks, but Shanks uses the blast cone wisely to get himself over the wall.
CFO would probably beat this BLG. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. That's what I'm saying. CFO's like top 3, top 4. CFO is better than BLG and FlyQuest, 100%.
So much about Bin, we talk so much about Knight, but Elk is the one here playing this on-hit Varus.
I think AL's gonna make it to the finals.
Oh, a great repulse by Bin.
The idea there being that the silence comes through. Ooh, Flandre now the one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Flandre gets out of this one. He's already used the skip and slash. There's the impale follow-up. Knight gets his second, and BLG continue to punch back.
BLG do punch back, but again, it's the towers now. So we saw them get that tower top side low. Flandre finished that off. That's first tower. That was Boots. Now they get another tower on the other side of the map. AL are constantly pushing. So even though BLG are finding picks, are finding fights, it's always at the cost of something else. And it feels like BLG should be the ones ahead in gold, but it's AL with the over 1K gold lead here.
Dude, I mean,
very strong.
It's whatever.
I mean,
If we beat T1, we would have been like in the. Yeah, I don't know. We would have been top 3.
Relied on the fact that they have these strong side lanes, but AL put a lot of focus.
We just fucked up.
And that's where a lot of this
Lucky.
gold is coming from. The good news for BLG though is Knight getting some solo time on the top side of the map. He will secure a tower for himself. You can see that with that first item completed, moving away from the rocket belt and going for a little bit more burst damage, that assassination.
Luckily, EWC Worlds has less BO5s.
Trying to defend the tower.
BLG are going to collapse though. Inshtal's impact will get Flandre into
Yeah, EWC's BO1s. It's, I don't know, man. It's hard. Oh, okay. Flandre goes down. But I think this is actually really good. Oh my god, they're just so mega fucked. Holy shit.
Running for the hills. Knight and Elk, can you escape the clutches of Tarzan? Good flash away, cease and desist. Available.
Okay.
They continue to chase forward. Hope flashes.
Oh!
And Tarzan lives.
Damn, Tarzan lived.
BLG sent 5 top, but it is AL standing strong here, playing out the fight incredibly well. Hope was
That's crazy, dude.
On that one. BLG now so far behind off of this fight.
You hit the nail on the head as AL. Hope's positioning was fantastic. He was in a 2 versus 5, and he threw the ultimate out. Not as a defensive measure, but to be ready for the arrival of his team to say, we are ready
Yeah,
to
Tarzan
turn
almost
this
fucked
fight
that.
around.
That was
They did
crazy.
everything to getting that pick onto Flandre, but it cost them so much.
Beishwan going forward here. Hope once again putting the damage down. Impale.
Oh, Beishwan! Dude, what the fuck is he doing?
Shanks now unstoppable. 5-1 on this Annie.
The spent flash just adding insult to injury there as Beishwan flashed out with that.
Oh man.
But the disintegrator
Dude, just GG, dude. Oh my god.
That is a big playmaking tool gone. That is all of the outers gone.
Yeah, CFO versus AL was a lot more competitive.
Starting again to run away with this one on match point here, looking for a date with T1.
This game is getting too chaotic for BLG. Knight and Bin, they need time. They want to be playing in the 2 versus 1s. They want to be 2v2s. They want to be skirmishing on a side lane. When you're forcing these big 5v5 fights, Hope is just going to do so much damage. Look at the ricochet. It's just bouncing through all the members of BLG. Then the rest of AL arrive, and while Bin does get the initial kill, it's immediately traded back. Shanks joins the fray. Tarzan setting up for the collapse. They forego chasing down Beishwan, knowing they can't run him down. And you can see that Tarzan a little hesitant to ulti here, but he knows that the rest of his team is following up, so he's prepared to sacrifice his life, ready for the turnaround pick, but he doesn't even fall.
I mean, just so much patience there from Tarzan. In multiple fights, we've seen him hold on to this ult. He's not just sending it immediately. He goes in with the Q, forces the flash, backs off to
First
keep him
straight?
Then once his team is going to be close enough to actually follow up, he goes back in with the ult, knowing, yeah, I might die here, but we are going to win the fight. And look at the damage dealt. 2 champions in the last team fight. Nearly 5K from that Sivir.
A pick for Hope that rings back to his first ever title on JDG. It was the Sivir and the Zeri that carried them to that victory.
Yeah, what type?
Now on anyone's legend, it is the Sivir that
That's crazy. I had no idea that's a thing you can fucking try to predict. So it's just like, you're just flipping a coin essentially, or worse, because it's 4. So you have 25% chance of being right.
And their hopes seem to rest now on
That's crazy, what the fuck?
I will say that if AL do make it through this series, they will be a new challenger to the many LPL teams that have faced T1 throughout the years. And based on how they're playing, they are making a statement in
Yeah, I've been learning that, Doki, when people come in and ask you like the weirdest questions,
the strongest LPL
I'm like, what?
At this tournament.
What the fuck kind of question is that? It's like, oh, I'm just trying to do like, you know, betting and stuff. I'm like, the fuck? Who the fuck does that shit? Ugh. What the fuck on? What the fuck was that ult? Why did he ult blitzkrieg like that?
A short burst of movement for him there as he joins up with the fight. Bin is here in the mid lane. Flandre is not. He's pushing out through bot.
And you can feel the desperation sinking in a little bit when you're spending flash ult to hopefully get a pick on a blitzcrank. And he just has the perfect McHale.
Oh!
On
On!
And will take down on Tarzan jumping forward as well. Ishtar's impact will lock him against the wall, the Impale as well. And
Okay.
Tarzan will fall, Plunder coming in.
They get vibe, but Knight's dead, no. Oh, he dies.
But Shanks now dominating. Elk snipped away by Flandre. Ben trying to do anything he can to survive. He's forced back to his tier 2.
It all starts with a single hook. Kyle finding that pick onto On. The rest of BLG quickly tried to turn that into a winning fight, but it ends in disaster. The good news for BLG is that they take out Tarzan, they take out the jungler from AL, but already back out onto the map. The double TPs come mid.
Ben will be able to walk away from this one, even with the Molten Shield. I'm not sure Shanks can chase. Kyle going for the overdrive, that extra movement speed. Will
now they're gonna run down mid.
did have to use an ability to get out, but Bin still survives. The Dragon is up, as is the Uttercon. AL in such a prime position to close out this game.
You can see BLG pings onto the Otacon there, but there's so many wards in their jungle that AL is gonna
BLG clearly tilted. I mean, they're just outclassed, dude. What can they do?
On that side of the map, and now
he struggled against FlyQuest, dude.
Noting that BLG is not looking for that dragon.
FlyQuest.
For a risky play.
Kale cooked this game. Oh yeah, the Kale's so good.
It is gonna be problems.
Love the positioning here from On.
Like Kale this year has been like fucking beast, dude.
There's the handshake. Beishuan looking for the chase here onto Kyle. Good static field will stop the channel. Knight trying to get in from the side. Tarzan shadowing Bin, marking him, making sure he can't get in.
Oh my god, Ben. Oh, On doesn't even have ult. No, it's just gang. Fuck that, dude. Shut the fuck up. How dare you say that about Kyle?
To Shanks, Elk chased away, nothing he can do. Shattered and bruised, BLG can only watch as AL clean it up.
But, I mean, tomorrow's match is gonna be crazy hype though.
4-0 ace in favor of AL. BLG desperate to try and find any pick. They set up for a collapse onto Kyle, but it ends in disaster.
Yeah, and Hope had base. That's why he was late to the fight, but he shows up with the third item, the Infinity Edge completed, and you knew as soon as he arrived, it was curtains for BLG. They try to find a pick. They are punished so heavily here. AL fully commit to the chase, knowing that this is their fight. No way that BLG can fight back. Tries his best, and they have got to know it. They are so close now to sealing the
You're
deal
worse than
here.
gang? What the fuck? What are you talking about?
The Otacon secured as well.
I'm a Giga Chad.
Extra gold out of that. Kyle stealing the Raptors. This guy has been an absolute menace here for anyone's legend. And for BLG, you're wondering, is there a way back in? Yes, perhaps if we can kill off Hope.
No, dude, no way.
On this Gwen as well. It just becomes a mountainous, a monstrous task now for BLG.
Dude.
Tarzan looking at a faded rematch.
Dude, one of the rumors is
the opportunity to get
what's it called?
Revenge.
SoftBank is changing support, right?
Second dragon of the game.
Isn't that one of the rumors?
45 seconds.
I don't know how true it is though.
1-6 Shanks scoreline. An impressive performance for him, especially in the early game. He was the one that was targeted. All of the pressure was put onto his lane, yet he weathered the storm.
Because the thing is, gang is counts as Japanese. So unless there's some other Korean out there that also counts as Japanese that I don't know of, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Here in game 3.
Shanks has been stellar, but Hope as well, as you're mentioning, a 13-1-3 on the Lucian. He is now 7-0-10 on the Sivir. Feels like he has barely stepped a foot wrong, as this duo have been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, apparently Fnatic tried to get Wonder, but Wonder's a no. He didn't want to do 6-man. Oh!
A grand in the pocket of Knight. He's found his payday, but can
okay.
find the fight. Tarzan gets one in his spot.
Wait, BLG can is winning this fight. Oh my god, Flandre. Oh, damn. How the fuck?
BLG are not down and out just yet. An impressive team fight comes through. They close the gold gap just like
I mean, 6-man with Oscar. Retarded. I mean, basically, people just saw CFO do it, and they're like, oh, we should do it too. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with these teams?
Right, jumping back in. Doesn't have the Riftmaker for any of that extra healing. Elk can now tank it, and they should be able to get it with those blighted quiver stacks. Knight almost dies. Elk secures it for BLG.
There's a moment, dude.
AL now have to regroup. The goal
I mean,
basically even.
Knight and Elk are really good, dude.
To just gone. That is multiple massive shutdowns going their way. And it is.
Yeah, they went way too
AL.
deep.
Look here, they're the ones moving in, but watch Knight. It's all about his positioning here as they catch him.
Yeah, look at Hope. Oh my God, Hope was in a really bad spot.
They were all looking for
Oh, nice. On ult. Renata was good.
Elk is untouched. There's no pressure put on the Varus, and that means it is the miracle fight for BLG, buying them a shot in this series, buying them a shot in this game. And Knight has got to feel good about that one.
We talked about it coming out of the draft. If you're BLG, who do you look to? You look to Knight and you look to Bin, and this is why so often.
But yeah, the 6-man roster, like, you can't just. People don't understand how much effort CFO's putting into the 6-man roster.
2 Dragons and an Artican to only 1 Drake for BLG.
I mean, Hope is
Because people don't watch LCP, they only watch MSI. So they're just like, oh, like CFO has a 6-man roster. It must be really good. But then they're like, oh, one player sucks. Fuck him. I'm like, no, dude, that's not how it works, man.
Any target that tries to run him down.
My eyes also drawn towards the top side. A 2,000.
People are just dumb, dude. Like, reading Reddit and Twitter just tilts me. Because people act like they understand. But they don't understand because they don't watch LCP.
He does not have the ability to really hold him in.
No, read it. But dude, I love getting triggered.
Find a window to crack the base, and you can look for these crazy plays where you're TPing in, trying to go for a base race.
Because it makes me feel smart.
You can't actually win in the 5v5. So we'll see if AL can kind of.
Yeah, I'm not watching the trash region.
Just try to slow things down, get it back in their favor.
This is the thing about BLG.
Another AL didn't win from Ben.
And that potential is already.
Yo, this is called mid-season invitational. It's not an actual title. We only care about worlds.
Around the dragon.
Waste time in a minor region. Yeah, like LEC and LTA.
He's gonna go quickly back to base as the TP ready.
And I think honestly, if you're AL,
no, it's just crazy.
It would just be the second dragon here for BLG. So you can just play through sides. You can just continue wave clearing here. And BLG realizing we can't just group 5. You're not going to be able to push through the Sivir. It's just not going to work. They were so insistent on trying to get down this tier 1 mid. Now they
zero emotions, yeah.
They're looking for some resets. They're going to prepare for this dragon.
Dude, FlyQuest would have lost to CFO.
But again,
it's not a win to be like, oh, MKoi lost to CFO, but Fly didn't, so Fly's better. It's like, no. Fly also would have lost. We just got lucky.
We see the GA being built by Tarzan. The question is, are they going to wait for that, or are they going to kind of put their line in the sand and fight here?
4 items on Hope. If he's untouched in a fight, he will just shred through BLG. They've started up.
You can tell people personal bias whenever you read that shit.
Answering the call.
So stupid.
Play about their own jungle. They'll make sure they have the mid lane prio. Baron has fallen off. AL actually having to back away from only on the advance here. Tarzan might look for the smite across the wall, but won't be able to get in range. Beishwan secures it. BLG take the gold lead for the first time this game, and quickly AL take it back.
Or have 3,000 of them be good.
The game now has a very different tone attached to it. Earlier it felt
and that's different. They're just trying to figure out who's good.
Close out the series
kind of like Gam with 2 mids.
A single fight, and now AL feel the stress, they feel the momentum shift as BLG regain their
I would have gapped CFO. No, dude. Didn't happen, we don't know. We could easily guess and tell, dude.
For Elk as well. So these fights are
CFO did way better against T1 and AL than fucking FlyQuest did.
23 kills to 14. You feel like that it's a foregone conclusion. But the items at the bottom of your screen are the true story of what we can come to expect in the next fight.
They absolutely are, but I mean, we already talked about the Bloodthirster. They also were waiting for the Death Cap, and that is ready. The hook just narrowly misses. Shanks now level 16, Death Cap completed. They were waiting for the Death Cap, they were waiting for the BT, they were waiting for the GA. You have to think Tarzan is going to be pretty close to that as well. As AL may just be one good hook away from closing this series out. It's BLG that have got to stay
One of the casters messaged me to ask info, right? That he thinks Rest is just a better player. Now the world thinks Rest is ass. Yeah, and people don't understand. Rest is not ass. We just misused the top lane. Like, why is Rest playing Ornn? How is that Rest's fault? Like, come on, man. Think about it. LTK, LPL, LCP, LTA, EU, yeah, sure, why not?
As well as he knows he needs just that little bit more protection. Next Drake, 3 minutes away, but the Baron is where my eyes turn. Only 30 seconds, no vision really up there for BLG right now.
Well, yeah, but to be honest, you know, you can see the same thing about LTA and LEC. One team region.
About 1,300 gold in additional stats that
MKOI and FlyQuest. After that drops off really hard, dude.
And Bin is spotted here.
Should just be able to walk away. Was doing the Grom. Bin spotting Tarzan early means there's no real risk of a Vault Breaker into cease and desist. You've got the riposte. You have enough tools at your disposal just to escape. There's the Guardian Angel you were talking about. Azale finished on Tarzan. Seekers as well for Knight. Means that assassination potential all the more real. On has a Locket and a Mikhails on this Renata as well. Can be so powerful in a team fight. Mikhails obviously primarily for the stun coming out of Shanks. And a QSS for Hope. He knows if he's untouched, if he has a little bit of time in a fight, that Ricochet is just going to melt.
And now, I mean, he has the Mikhails, he has that QSS. You can see that Kyle is sitting on cleanse right now, so even if he gets hit by the hostile takeover, he can actually cleanse in Mikhails, but Shanks could be in trouble.
Shanks jumped on by Bejuan, puts the Tibbers down, gets the stun. Knight with the chase, Bejuan, the Impale going wide.
Oh my god, Tarzan, oh, Shanks is dead.
The Annie, Shanks down now, as AL have to defend a spore.
It's an easy execution as
play mid and they wouldn't be any worse.
Target in the side lane. The damage from Knight was lethal as the Baron is begun.
Yeah, it's not a massive gap. Gam did really well. They're like one game away from being G2.
Hope begins to open up. Hostile takeover coming out. Vault Breaker away by Tarzan. The needle work from Plunger just for the slow.
But the perfect positioning by Kyle.
Dude, let's go.
He stops the Baron and an instant Mikhails.
Dude, that Blitzcrank value is huge.
Bejuan lost track of the fact that he could have got hit by that angle, and now Kyle's looking.
Ah, Kyle!
Flashes forward.
Oh my god.
Tower falls as the bailout on Bin would bring him back if he did fall. Has that G8 on his shoulders.
What the fuck, dude?
No further push coming out for BLG. The Drake up in 50 seconds.
That's just disastrous, though. For BLG, losing your jungler there, exactly, because now they can start the counter Baron. Your Bejuan just needed to stay on the other side of the Baron, not allow Kyle to get that angle, but now it is AL here on the Baron, and it's a TP coming in from Bin. They're looking to contest.
It all comes down to this. You have to feel every hope and every wish for BLG to take it into the lower bracket finals.
Oh my god. Knight's golden.
Knight pops a stopwatch, but he's basically got nothing.
Who's fighting? Oh my god. Oh, fuck if I get that. Holy shit. Oh, wait, Tarzan. What is he doing?
With the GA will be resurrected. Shanks
oh my god.
The needles for the slow. Bin trying to get away with that lunge, but Shanks has the stun primed and ready. The blast cone from Bin.
Oh.
The breaker from Tarzan riposted.
Oh, he's stunned. Oh my god. Dude, they're so low. Damn, boys. What the fuck am I watching?
Very close fight, but without the jungler, AL secure the Baron.
They're also one game away from losing Fury. True.
Much closer than it should have been.
I mean, Fury is also one game away from beating Gam or being G2, right? So, yeah.
AL were laser focused on the Baron, but watch Hope. Both the solo laners get on top of Hope, and that is why there is a chance here for BLG. They're able to get in with their dying breath there. Bin gets in on top, gives up the GA. Knight comes through and finishes him off, and that is why this gets so close. But we are back to live, and AL here looking for a Dragon. Tarzan gets knocked over the wall.
He should have the Vault Breaker up.
that is a clincher if I've ever seen one.
Brother Shanks, are you okay? It's fine. Tarzan able to walk away. The Baron for anyone's legend. The Red Bull Baron power play currently sitting at 3K. We saw BLG get a Baron and delay the game. Only got about 2K out of it. AL will want a lot more.
2024 GT wouldn't complain, but 2025 GT.
4 items as well on Shanks.
Yeah.
With the Morello Nomicon. Full build for Hope.
Yeah, exactly. Full build for him. Flandra is going to be working towards his death cap as that next item. The gold lead has somewhat withered a bit there for Bin. The GAs are used by both sides as well. Tarzan won't have his, Bin will not have his. This fight is going to be explosive. And Knight critically doesn't have Zhonya's gold just yet. He used the Seekers.
There we are.
There, critically, has it now.
AL with the Baron can begin their siege. BLG don't have the best wave clear. Elk is going to do what he can, but the ulti is popped by Hope.
On the hunt is Hope. On the hunt for a lower bracket final against T1. On the Hope.
Dude, there's E-ramming. Why they use E-ramming?
For BLG, you need vision.
They're not gonna push a side wave.
Kyle on this blitzcrank because his hooks have been hitting.
I will say the vision coverage on these flanks is very strong from BLG. That controller doing a lot of work. Another hook goes wide from Kyle.
Kyle is basing, but he has TP with his spellbook. He does cancel it now. See if he wants to go back for a reset. They're looking for Flandre.
Challenge down onto Flandre. Immediately dashes in. Flandre will skip and slash across the wall. Hope to position well here. BLG will force Flandre down to half HP. He does have the TP to rejoin the fight. But BLG showing if they're given a second with that Gwen, she can be deleted.
And that was incredibly bold there.
Imagine if Fofo goes to Chiefs. It's not Fofo.
Gets Flandre down incredibly low. But he does survive.
Dude.
Bin again, just posturing. I mean, he is feeling so confident. He
think a little bit more of a downgrade. Go down a lot more.
The ulti should be able to outpace them.
Still a lot of pings.
They're
Knight's
still going.
Lost a lot of HP. Yeah, I think this is way too deep. Kyle going to spot out that they are safe now to go back to base. It's looking to be an Elder game at the very least. We're looking at one more Baron. 2 minutes.
Yeah, if the rumors are true, Talon win next split. Fuck you. Fuck you.
To get ready for the next fight.
Talon ain't winning shit.
Full build on Elk. The gold really doesn't mean much. It all comes down to execution.
And Elk now has a GA in there as well.
Pasta! Yo, what's up, man?
That are going to stack up. He is going to be tough to knock down. Not to mention all of the protection there from on. So now, even with all of the damage that Shanks and Tarzan have, it's not.
If there goes Chiefs, he's not going to Chiefs, as far as I know. I don't know about Ultra Penis.
Honestly, I feel like the way that this fight is going to go, AL
moved
away from trying to dive, and instead they're all about peeling.
Yeah.
So every time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening to Fofo.
Knight from getting anywhere near Hope. As long as Hope lives and can auto attack, Ricochet should do the rest.
Even
of the
if
work.
Maple
so
joins Talon,
protect the
nah.
president right now. As AL
Maple's washed, dude. He's old.
From Knight and Bin, who will be looking to try and take out Hope in the fights.
And when you're looking at a fight like that, it's so important to think about vision and to think about summoner spells. The exhaust, well highlighted there for Kyle, gives him that protection.
Maple hasn't been playing for 6 months, dude.
Flanks as well. We've seen Knight assassinate Hope at that first fight around the Baron because Hope did not know that Knight was there, and the rest of AL had chased onto the BLG backline.
A well-timed exhaust has ruined the plans of many an assassin in League of Legends here.
Nah, it's different. It's different.
Pay dividends potentially in this last fight. I mean, Kyle finally has his second item. Have been spending so much gold on Vision throughout this game, buying so many pink wards. The redemption is done.
Are they gonna get? Are they gonna get Sora as well?
He is. He sold something for the Lord Dominic's regards.
Yeah, just bench Woody, dude. Get Sword Art.
Makes sense. The only real threat is a hostile takeover, chain of corruption, but you have Mikhails. Yeah. So.
Yeah, won't get Hung Sul or promote Blue Kaka. Will bring Maple out of retirement. True.
I mean, if you're going to put trust in a support in the LPL, I think Kyle probably the best one to do it in right now. Anyone's legend will try and get control over the Baron River.
40 minutes in. The Baron spawns 8 seconds, the third one of the game. Soul point for AL.
Flandre is basing, and I assume he has his.
You bring Maple out of retirement?
Does have the completion. There it is. That is
You're not getting Hung Sul. What the fuck?
Again, on the fact that the GAs are now active. And
What about Blue Kaka?
Available here. Tarzan
Blue Kaka's pretty good.
Has one. Elk has one. There's multiple Zonias as well.
And the bailout from that Renata. Especially if Knight is
yeah, Kev. Whatever, dude. Dude, you don't even watch PCS. How the fuck would you know? I do. I am the expert. I am the fucking expert of APAC.
Not setting up around it at all.
Bin could just solo it though. AL are very heavy
Churn
on the
fire.
top side of the map, so we'll see if Bin wants to
Yeah,
go
of course.
over to it or if he's too worried about a
Chiefs churn fire? No, dude. Oh, on is down, dude.
AL will turn their eyes towards the Baron and BLG. Are you going to fight this? Base one and Knight.
You know, yeah, imagine those Chiefs line up.
BLG will give up the Ghost to take the Drake, lose the Baron.
Exactly, you know they're not going to fight.
Doing 2004, dude. They try to buy him out. We were like, nah, dude. Because he's too good for Chiefs. 2004 is too good for Chiefs. You know what's funny? It's low-key kind of true. 2004 would be too good for that team.
Towards that top tower. AL with the Baron at their backs. Shanks going to answer mid-wave. This tower is not long for this world.
No, Slater's not on it. They got Pays. JDG Pays is joining Chiefs as AD carry.
It's going to be a 5v5.
Slater's going to be positional coach.
BLG, if they can somehow find a way to get back in this game, get back in this series, one fight away from going home, one fight away from perhaps once again making a name for themselves on the international stage.
The full roster is Fudge, Shurnfire, Scout, Pays, and then support is Sword Art. I don't know, dude. I can think of an oceanic support.
We'll see. They're just trying to take over vision here in the enemy jungle and see if they can find one more pick.
Feels like they might be playing for this bot tier 2, push the next wave, then move.
I mean, that team could actually probably do something.
He's already escorting the wave forward.
But knowing the Chiefs, dude, they'll just run down. They'll find some way to fuck it up.
Is revealed on that top wave now, so now they are going to push in earnest. They know they have the extra man here. They're going to push very aggressively. There is a potential TP ward back behind Flandra, but it's Hope pushing mid lane now. And we saw how fast
what the fuck is that?
Down. Bin is on the side, but this tower is getting quite low.
3 autos and it's down to half HP. The chain of corruption. A whisker away from finding Hope. Who does, of course, still have that spell shield and the
like higher Poltron or something.
BLG unable really to defend as Hope using the
dude, they're ending the game now, dude. Chill, Russian man, chill.
Have lost an inhibitor tower in mid. Flounder with double cannon minions down towards the bottom side. Bin.
Oh, Bin's stunned.
The hostile takeover coming out as well as Tarzan dashes in.
Okay, base runs is all by himself. Has to flash out.
But with Tibbers joining the party,
oh my god, dude.
See the win in their eyes.
BLG.
How's talent top 10 team? Fuck them, dude.
The Nexus towers are all that stand left as the base falls apart. Bin goes in.
Looks for Tarzan, but Tarzan goes in with a cease and desist. There's still a Guardian Angel here, but will bring it back first. Unignited and will fall to Flanders.
Yeah. GG.
Bin dashing up towards the top side. Knight able to escape for now, but base
oh my god, dude. Dude, their base is getting fucking wrecked by all these two minions.
And I don't think there's an Angel listening as is mown down.
AL are too good. Hey, CFO at least won one game. CFO won at least one game.
A dominant series here from AL. All you can say, these players, this team, they keep getting better. 3-2 in the upper bracket, 3-1 in the grand finals, 3-0 at MSI. This team is ramping up.
Dude, beautiful. Oh, dude, tomorrow we're going to get AL versus T1. Dude, today was a really short day. Holy fuck. Not even 3 hours long, dude.
Ready to give the LCK a run for their money.
T1, the infamous LPL killers. A new challenger awaits. AL will go on to face them tomorrow. And again, we go back to the conversation we had earlier. Winning 3-0 makes a statement. They are head and shoulders above that of BLG.
Damn.
They are by far and away the best team from the LPL. And I am excited to see what they can do because there's not but one, but 2 LCK opponents ahead of them if they want to claim the MSI title.
Yeah, another international event.
Commiserations, they'll be disappointed with how they performed here.
Or Knight. Tried so hard.
In general. But for a team that's gone through so much with the changing of coaching staff, with Beishuan coming in, with turmoil.
I'm going to end stream.
I think they can.
I'm gonna try to heal my throat a little bit more, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, take care, guys. Go fuck yourself. Peace, peace.
We heard from Knight himself before the